they expect you to know. Okay, so what did we see last year? I think is first things first, very clear is last year we saw two things. We saw price growth and we saw very strong demand. Okay, so to put it into numbers, okay, based on flash estimate, okay, of last year, okay, prices went up by 8.4% overall for non-land for private residential properties. Okay, and the absorption rate is 158%. Okay, why do we use absorption rate? Is because I think by now you should know last year was a record low in the terms of number of units launched. As of 3 quarters, there's only about 4,000 units launched compared to general. Usually we have minimum 8 to 12,000 depending on the year. Okay, so when you see reports or when your buyers tell you, hey, last year's sales is not fantastic, the fact is that there's nothing to sell. There's nothing for buyers to buy. So we use absorption rate. Okay, whatever is launched, 100% was taken up plus another 58% from remnant stock in the market. Okay, so this leads to a supply shortfall, which actually spiral into everything that we see today. Okay, so I'll elaborate a bit. Okay, so in terms of price, okay, as I mentioned, okay, in the last 2 years, since 2020, prices have increased by 21.5% overall for non-landed private properties. Okay, we are currently at a record high of 188.2 in the property price index. Okay, demand continues to be strong. So like I say, if you look at the absorption rate rather than the raw sales, you can see that, you know, last year or 2021, okay, we sold 124%. Okay, that means 24% over absorption of what is released in the market. Everything that has been released, if you sell everything, there's still another 24% that was taken up from remnant stock. Okay, and last year was even more extreme. Okay, based on 3 quarters, 158% was taken up. Okay, so this contribute a bit to where we are today, which I will touch on briefly lah. Okay, so everything has cause and effect. So I think to give a complete story, I think I just grandmother story a bit. We move back a bit more, a few years. Okay, why we are where we are today. Okay, so what happened is in 2013, I think everybody knows that there's a TDSR. So with TDSR, you know, demand started to come down a little bit, and URA has a very standard formula for controlling the market. Okay, they control through government land sales supply and demand. So what the URA did is very predictable lah. So they release lesser land. Okay, but eventually, you know, there's pent-up demand and demand start to be very, very strong. Okay, and all the supply in the market start to be quickly absorbed. Okay, so what happened? So now developers got two things. One is I sell all my projects. I got no land bank to launch new projects. Two is, wow, it's an up market trend. So there's demand, but I got nothing to capture this demand in. So what happened from there is, you know, there is very strong competition for land. Okay, GLS price start to come up. You know, we see a new norm. Okay, we saw a new norm in 2017 where, you know, land price went up, so eventual selling price went up. But even more to add to that is it got so competitive that a lot of developers decided, hey, instead of fighting for GLS land, I go and find my own en bloc. Then I negotiate with the committee itself. Then I can get a price that I want rather than I go and tender in a closed tender. Then I don't know where I will end up, or I may overpay, I may underpay, or I may miss out by just that bit. Okay, so this lead to an en bloc fever, and then there's a lot of upcoming supply. So you see Treasure 2000, Affinity 1000 plus, Sterling 1000 plus. You see 𝒂𝒑, all these mega developments come up with a lot of units. So URA, as expected, they release lesser land again because they don't want a situation of oversupply. Okay, and then in 2020 we see COVID, and once again, you know, URA respond by coming at less supply. Okay, so you can see in numbers, you know, previously before all these things, you know, generally is between 2,000 to 3,000 units released per half. Okay, during the COVID times and just before COVID times, you can see the numbers drop all the way until 2003. Okay, but what was not expected is that the demand continued to be strong. So if you look at the take up for the last few years, you know, it's 100%, 87%, 92%. So whatever supplies in the market is quickly absorbed and more. Okay, so this lead us to a similar situation in 2017. Okay, developers got no more land bank. They got no more existing stock to sell. They need to find new land to sell units. Okay, especially if they think that, hey, the market is looking good. Okay, which lead us to what we saw in the last 2 years. We saw another surge in land price, another intense competition for land leading to land price increase, something like 2017. Okay, so we see a new norm. Why I touch on this is because this will lead directly into expectations. Okay, so you can see that the land price over the last 2 years have increased quite dramatically. If you look at the Lentor land price is 1,002. Okay, copper land price is 1,001 plus. So in the space of 2 years, okay, old Sierra land become more expensive than C Sierra land. Okay, I think this is a very good example of how much prices have surged because of this supply shortfall. Okay, there's a state of supply and demand imbalance in the market that lead us to where we are today. Okay, so with higher construction costs and higher land costs, of course, we see a new price norm. Okay, so 𝒂𝒑𝒑 new sales average for last year, average new home sale in 𝒂𝒑𝒑 for 2022 is at 1873 PSF. Okay, in 2021 is at 1604. Okay, we moved back 5 years ago, it's 1303. Okay, so we are at a new norm. Okay, 2017 we saw a new norm upcoming. 2022 we see another new norm. Okay, in terms of RCR, we went up to 2357 on average in 2022, compared to 5 years ago, it's 1645. Okay, and it's no use if the price is high if nobody buy. Okay, but the thing is, people are buying. Okay, so you look at Amor, 𝒀𝒑𝒑, Lentor, even the recent Seneca, it's doing 60, 70, 80, 90% at new price. Okay, so the market has accepted this new price, and this is very important. Okay, because once the market has accepted a new price, once a reasonable amount of units is sold at this new norm, this becomes the new baseline of the market. Okay, if you think of it, if the intention of every buyer is to make money, if I bought at this price, it's unlikely that I will sell lower. Okay, so when you buy new homes, there's a bit of price protection. Everybody work together to preserve the price. Okay, this is something you don't see in resale. You can buy a resale now, very good price at $900, but you may have neighbors who buy at $500, $400, and they will not do anything to protect a new price for you. But whatever has been transacted last year and whatever that will be transacted this year, they will work together to preserve this new price norm that will protect buyers who are buying new launch property in the next couple of years. Okay, so I will move on a little bit. Okay, but let's just put all of that aside. Okay, I don't have the numbers for 2022 yet, it's not out. Okay, but another bright spot that you can think of it this way is that, based on 2021, about 1 in 4 buyers pay ABSD. Okay, so in terms of quantum paying ABSD is more than 2 billion. Okay, so again, if you think about it in terms that every buyer's ultimate objective when they buy property is to make money, okay, based on what is transacted in 2021 alone, okay, everything that has been sold, okay, all the price add together need to sell at 2 billion more to have a profit, just based on ABSD alone. Don't need to talk about market, don't need to talk about selling price, don't need to talk about every market condition, economy, everything. Just to cover ABSD, the combined value of whatever is sold in 2021, okay, have to increase by $2 billion for people to profit. Okay, so like I say, if you think that the majority of buyers, they have their agenda is, I want to make money, I cannot lose money, there's 2 billion to be increased based on ABSD alone. So if you're a first timer, all the people who are paying ABSD, they need to recover this 2 billion. You can ride on their boat to so-called make price gain. Okay, so that is the context of where we are. So this will lead exactly to what we think will happen in the market. So I'm not going to touch on economy, not going to touch on recession, inflation, war, etc. I think all this is well covered in our US, UCS. I think for today, I want to come back just to real estate. As if we look at the real estate market itself, of course, it's influenced by other things, but independent of other things, what do we expect in the real estate market itself that will unlikely be very much affected by what's going on in the world, whether it get better or worse. These are fundamentals that probably will remain more or less stable. Okay, so this leads us to fundamentals of real estate. So why do people buy real estate? Okay, first things first is stable. Okay, when you buy real estate, you don't expect the value to drop by 50%, 30% in 1 day, 1 month, or even 1 year. Okay, over the long term, you think prices should increase. Okay, real estate serves a purpose. Okay, either for rental, for own stay. It's not like a piece of paper or share, you don't see anything. Okay, it's a necessity. Okay, people need a house to stay, and most importantly, it's finite, especially in Singapore context. Okay, so lesser and lesser land will eventually be available. Okay, regardless of the time spent. Okay, so this also leads us to what we see are the demand drivers in the last 2 years. We see a lot of resilience in the market. Despite COVID, everything, the market is still very strong. We have been seeing upgrading for the last 10 years now. Okay, but I think over the last 2 years, it became more apparent when work from home start to become a thing. Okay, we see people are making more money, rising income, and we see a lot of changing mindset, especially among the younger people. So all this, why I'm sharing with all this contribute to the base of the market. Okay, so what we are trying to address now is 3 things. One is, what is the expectation of the market? Do we expect prices to drop next year? Okay, or this year, sorry. Next thing is, what do we expect in the future? Do we expect future prices to be cheaper or more expensive? And lastly, within the development you buy, is there any possibility that developer will slash price? Okay, so over the next few slides, we look at it and we see how viable or how possible it is. Okay, but quickly touching on, real estate, people have been buying because it's resilient. Okay, so if you think there's some rocky times ahead, this is where usually we see over the years people start to divest into real estate because they think fundamentally it's more stable. I think nothing is clearer about this than during COVID. You see a lot of funds being directed in the real estate. Okay, we see upgrading. Okay, prior to COVID also, I think the asset progression script has taken hold. A lot of people are upgrading. In the last 10 years, we see the number of people staying in condo almost double. Okay, whereas HDB only increased by 15%. Okay, so this is also enabled by the fact that HDB resale market is very good. So the minute you make money from resale, you have the bullet to upgrade. Okay, depending on how much you make, but generally in the last few years, what we see is buyers are actually capped by down payment rather than loan. Okay, so technically every dollar you make increase your affordability by 4 times. You imagine if you have 300K cash now. Okay, you make 300, you can buy 1.2 million based on 75% loan and down payment cash. But let's say if you're BPO, you make another 300K. Now your cash is 600K. Now you can buy 600K times 4, which is 2.4 million. Okay, assuming that you can take a 75% loan, you are no longer capped by your down payment anymore, which I think was the limiting factor for a lot of upgraders in the last couple of years. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, I think there's some fogging. Okay, and then of course, this is accelerated by the fact that income is higher and the fact that, with COVID work from home, we see a lot of people that originally have the ability but never had the intention to upgrade. With all the work from home, with the time to consider, they decide to upgrade, okay, and they can afford it, okay. So these numbers have been shared before. I just want to share briefly that, 30% of households earn above 13,000 and 13% own above 20,000. So, the average buyer or, my friends ask me, hey, why got so many people buying property where despite the fact that the price is going up so high, can afford me? Okay, the answer is yes. Okay, if you earn 12,000 a month, technically you can buy up to 1.84. Okay, based on the new ruling. And if you earn 20,000 a month, you can buy up to 3 million. So if you want to put it in context, if you go Orchard Road, take a stone and throw, 3 out of 10 times the fella can buy 1.8 million. 1 out of 10 times the fella can buy 3 million. Okay, so there's a lot of people that can afford. Okay, it's not that nobody can afford. So this is a myth that, the people will say, hey, the price is increasing so much, who can still buy? Okay, I think you have seen last year, you haven't seen at 𝒂𝒐𝒔𝒂𝒏, a lot of people can still buy, okay, because 1 in 10 people can buy up to 3 million, and 3 million actually is a very, very big range to cover. Okay, lastly, okay, we see a lot of changing mindset. Okay, I think this is important for salesperson to know. So I think in the past, what we see is 1 and 2 bedroom is all investor. Okay, very, very rare you have buying for own stay. But I think last year, even 𝒂𝒐𝒂𝒏, we start to see, a big percentage of the buyers are getting younger, and these younger buyers actually buying 1 and 2 bedroom for own stay. Okay, so they may be thinking that, there's more upside to private. Okay, they may want the condo lifestyle. There's variety of reasons, but the fact is 1 and 2 bedroom now is no longer purely investment. You see people actually buying small units for own stay, and this will actually bump up the demand for 1 and 2 bedroom also. Okay, so you can see, a small bedroom, 100% sold at 𝒂𝒐𝒂𝒏. Okay, it's all sold. Okay, and last but not least, okay, there was a recent cooling measure. Of course, some people will think, hey, cooling measure is generally no good. Okay, so one thing that caught my attention during the cooling measure, again, this opinion, is that, they stop downgrading. Okay, if you are downgrading from a private, they don't let you buy a HDB for 15 months. So the first instinct is, hey, is this group statistically significant or not? Do we really see a lot of buyers that sell their private and then move to HDB? I don't know. I don't have the number, but my guess is I don't think there's a lot. So the minister answered for us. So in the newspaper, he actually said about 1 in 10. So is 1 in 10 so big a group that you need to come up with such a big regulation to go and kill this group or not? It's very scary, right? So I think end of it, the whole idea is to touch on sentiment. Okay, for I think a lot of private homeowners out there, including myself, I think your contingency plan is always, one day if I lose my job, I cannot sustain anymore, I just sell and move back to HDB. So I think the whole idea of this is to take away this this escape plan away from buyers, to make sure that buyers are more financially secure and they are more confident when they buy. So this downgrade option is no longer a factor. Okay, if you want to buy, it's no longer a factor. Okay, but if you look at it deeper, actually this helps a lot in terms of preserving the market. Okay, so 2 things. One is, now if I'm a seller, if I'm really need to downgrade, okay, I will ask for a price that will cover my 15 months rent. Okay, I will likely want to ask for a price that will cover my 15 months rent. So that is not so important. The more important fact is, now anyone who is buying since the regulation, I think in the back of his mind, he is confident that, downgrading is no longer an option. Okay, he's confident that whatever happened, I have some security and I think I can hold on to this. It's not an impulse purchase, and I have holding power. I will not be likely to force to fire sale to downgrade to a HDB. Okay, so in all, I think this will add price resilience to the market. Okay, like I mentioned, when you talk about the market, if nobody sell at a loss, nobody sell low, then the transaction will always be stable, ma. So as long as there's no fire sale or whoever is buying has holding power, then the base of the market will continue to remain strong. And I think this is an important factor moving on to new launches. Okay, so what we will see this year is a new norm for new homes. Okay, why we say new norm for new homes is because anything you buy this year, likelihood it will have to come from new homes. You want to buy anything that's existing in the market, there's really nothing much to buy. Like I say, the supply demand imbalance has really so-called taken up most of the supply in the market. Okay, so if you look at the whole RCR, there's only about 605 units as of last week when I'm doing this slide. OCR, there's about 400 units, that's 1,000 units. Okay, typically a year if you transact 10 to 12,000, this is a month worth of supply only. Okay, so number one, there's nothing much that is not releasing this year to buy. Okay, number two, most of this already uppriced also lah. Okay, so the baseline for the market this year will be what will be launched this year. Okay, so like I say, we want to talk about what we expect from the price this year. And the first expectation of price this year, what we say new price and new norm, is that there is really not much avenue for price this year to decrease. Okay, so I touched on already because of all this competition. Sorry, okay, because of all this competition, we saw higher land costs. Okay, we all know that there's higher construction costs, and I think we also all know that interest rate is going higher, so there's higher financing costs. Okay, so you think about it, you buy a house, you borrow 2 million, wow, interest rate go back 4% is very painful. The developer borrow 300 million, 400 million, 800 million, 1 billion. So when financing costs go up, it hurts them more than it hurts you. Okay, so with these three factors in place, I don't think any developer is in a position to cut price. Okay, there's really not much avenue for them to sell below market norms, below what has already been achieved. Okay, so land price, like I mentioned, everything, the land price now is high. Whatever is coming up this year, okay, already paid for already. Okay, tomorrow Ukraine drop a bomb on Russia, Russia drop a bomb on Ukraine, or someone declare they don't want to sell oil anymore, doesn't do a thing to what they have already paid. This land price is paid. It doesn't change. Okay, this land price cannot change already. Whatever happened in the market, this base price is there. Okay, and this base price covers everything that will launch this year and up to the middle of next year. Okay, usually it's about 15 to 18 months from tender to launch. Okay, so all this land is paid and won. It will cover all launches for 2023 and maybe part of 2024. The base of the market cannot change already. Okay, same thing for construction costs. Okay, if you look at the construction tender index, increased by about 40%, material, some double, some increased by 50-60%. Okay, material maybe not, but if you look at things like 𝒂𝒐𝒔𝒔, you look at things like PROPRTY, the construction already ongoing already. Okay, already paid. Okay, the tender price already confirmed already. Again, whatever happened, the tender price cannot change. The contract is already signed. So these two are fixed already. So that's why I say I come straight to real estate. Of course, there are greater things, but let's focus on what can happen within the real estate scene itself. Okay, and last thing I say, if you mention you buy house, you borrow 2 million, 1.5 million. Okay, Diamond Road, they borrow 1.2 up to 1.2 billion. At TERRA Hill, and all these things, they borrow 300, 400, 500 billion. So developers are still hurt by rising interest rates. So there is really no basis for them to slash price or to sell lower than market expectations this year. Okay, so we covered what will launch this year. So the next question that buyers will ask is, hey, how about future tender? Will future tender be lower? Again, we don't expect this to come down substantially. Today I was in a meeting with one of the developer that got a land in D15. So of course they talk about 𝒂𝒂𝒐𝒔𝒔. And I think the general consensus is that whatever happened, there's no way that the 𝒂𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒑 side will come in lower than what has been paid for Dunman, or what CDL paid for 𝒂𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒑 Grant, or what Hoi Hub has paid for 𝒂𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒑. Okay, they will sure throw in a defensive bid one. Okay, nobody is gonna risk someone getting the land at a lower price that will kill their existing launch. Okay, so most of these upcoming sites have a comparable nearby. So a realistic developer that want to win this site, they have to bear in mind that there's a base price set already. Okay, to win it, they probably have to buy at a price of higher than whatever defensive bid. And if there's nobody that decide to buy at a higher price, most of the developers that got nearby sites, they will probably have a defensive bid in place. This one I'll show you an example. Okay, otherwise, the site is in a place that have not had a launch in a long time, so sure will have demand one. Okay, so for example, you look at Lentor Gardens. Okay, the neighboring parcel is one at 1130. Okay, Marina Gardens, that one is really a blank canvas, so it can be anybody's guess who want to be the first mover in this area. So again, first mover, there should be some benefits to it. Okay, and then again, Tembusu, like I mentioned, Tembusu Grand is 1 at 1302. Okay, Lentor Central, the neighboring parcel, 1 at 1108. Okay, Champions Way is in Woodlands. Okay, the last residential in Woodlands, I think, was in 2011. So it's been more than 10 years since there's a private condo development in Woodlands. So there will sure be competition and there will sure be anticipated demand. So I don't think anyone will be able to get the land cheap. Okay, like One North Media Circle, the One North sites have achieved 1246 PSFPPR. The reserve list one is mostly the same story. Okay, so what I mean by, throwing in defensive bids. So for example, you look at Lentor Central, okay, when Lentor Modern, for example, when the land was bought, okay, the next plot is Lentor Hill Parcel A ma. So you see 𝒂𝒂 Land actually find partner and they go in for Lentor Hill Parcel A, and I think they tender at a price that whatever the price sell, okay, Lentor Modern is a comparable. Okay, so whatever it is, if I am an integrator, if I have MRT, if I have more all this, I will probably be able to sell at a price that I can justify. Okay, your price, the price that you sell at will not be at a price that I look at it and the buyer will say, wow, sell. No, it will be a very comparable price. Okay, it will be a price that, if it's up for debate, which is better one. It won't be very clear, okay, the other one is overpriced. Okay, so they will come in and they will throw a defensive bid. Okay, and they will win they will try to get the land so that no one can get it at a price that will kill them. Okay, so after that, you see Lentor Hill Parcel B, TID went in themselves. They were part of the Lentor Hill Parcel A gang. Okay, even for Lentor Central, you see United Engineers, Soybuild, all this bidding, right? Actually, 𝒂𝒂 Land also put in a bid. Okay, so again, it's a bit of price preservation in the area. You want to get this land? Can. You can only get it at a price that at a land price that whatever is your eventual selling price, you won't be able to clearly be better than me. Okay, so this is what has happened in the last 10 years. Okay, URA recently, I think in the last 10 years, they start to release land together. So the intention is to keep land price low by making sure that, hey, you better make sure you don't anyhow bid because the next one could be cheaper. But what happened instead is developers start to go for both. So even if you look at Water Garden and Commodore, okay, UOL was actually bid for Commodore land, but they bid at a price that if you bid lower than you must bid higher than me to have a comparable price to what I'm selling. So that's why you see Commodore and Water Garden, although it's side by side, it's actually about the same price. Okay, because UOL actually put in a bid that you cannot beat my price. You cannot sell cheaper than me if you win the neighboring side. Okay, so expected prices even beyond 2024 with this new norm land price is expected to hold. So again, I will show you new norm price is generally once you hit a new norm, you don't go back already. The only question is when you go back to the new norm. So 2017, we have one round of new norm. Okay, 2021, 2020, 3 years later, we have another round of new norm. So when will the next new norm be? Okay, generally it's about once in every 4 years, if there's no economic crisis. Okay, so with the supply shortfall, okay, the crystallization of the new norm is also important. So last year we sell about 7,000 units. If we sell an average of 10,000, 9,000 units, this is about 16,000 new homes transacted at this new norm price. So these 16,000 buyers together, they will protect this new base of the market for whoever who's buying a new launch in the next few years. Okay, nobody will willingly want to lose money. So this new PSF that they transact at 2001, 2000, 2002, 2003, this will be the base where they will determine their future selling price. Okay, so this is where new homes has an advantage over resale. You have a lot of friends, a lot of neighbors who actually buy at the same price point and they are motivated to maintain the price point for you as compared to a resale. Like I say, you can buy a resale at a really, really very good price, much lower than new launch, but your neighbor who maybe is the first time owner, he buy half your price. So at any point of time, he can exit at a lower price than you and still make money. He is not motivated to protect your price point for you. Of course, he's motivated to sell higher than what you have bought at, but if things come to need, he's okay to sell lower. It's okay, I still make money. Okay, so this price point will be protected. Okay, so price are unlikely to revert to previous level. So you see the last time there was a slight drop is in 2009, but that's a major financial crisis. But after that, within 1 year, rebound to 30% to 1310 already. So every time there's a new norm, okay, depends on how big the new norm is. So from 13 to 15, we saw a new norm, $200, 15 to 17 is a new norm. Then in the last 2 years, we see a new norm. Okay, I put 2023 there, okay, because it's there, but it's only January. So I also don't want to put too much emphasis on this figure. But based on what has been transacted in the RCR in terms of new launch this year, right, the average already 2499. So you cannot find lower than that already. I mean, if you are looking at RCR, you reasonably new home, you cannot reasonably expect to buy at 1819 already. quite tough, given that the average of this year is 2499. Everything that's launching this year, we'll see, this year average is already 2499. There's no basis for me to sell lower, okay? And I cannot even if I wanted to. Okay, so I say, when crystallization, it preserves the base price. So again, this is personal opinion, okay? But, don't you think it's I don't think it's a coincidence that, 2013 got cooling measure, right? TDSR, before that got 4-year SSD, right? That 2017 is the point of time where, the average market price start to increase, okay? Because if you bought something in 2012 and 13, you have the whole 4 years anyway, okay? So by the time 4 years is 17, 18, 16, right? This is where all these new home buyers, they want to start to sell, and they are motivated to sell at the price that they have bought at. So in a way, whoever is successful, they probably sell higher than the average 1.2 or 1.3 that they sell at. And this in effect drive up the whole market as a whole. So you can say it's coincidence, you can say it's whatever, but I see that between 1.3 and 1.7, based on my look around, I don't think there's any major economic thing that really affect the market so much. Okay, so can be coincidence, but my point of view is what spur up the market slightly is because the 1.2 and 1.3 new home buyer, they actually hold the price. So when they start to sell together, they sell at a higher price than what they bought at. So in effect, it starts to drive up the market average, including resale, sub-sale of the market as a whole. Okay, so again, speculation, but I think it's logical. Why it's really soon at 4 years where you start to see the price start to go up, creep up already. Okay, so that is it for overall. But now the other concern that maybe a lot of buyers have is, if market no good, or developer drop price or not. But I think history based on my time in the market, I think it's super rare that developer drop price after launch, especially if they manage to sell units. Okay, so this is what we call first mover advantage. Developer, instead of dropping price, generally as they sell more and more, they will increase price. Okay, but buyer being buyer, they'll ask, why you don't sell well, developer will drop price. Not that never happened. Well, yes, but almost never in OCR and CCR. In fact, even if they don't sell very well, okay, developers generally at launch day, they will price at a quantum that they think they can generate some momentum. So this is probably the baseline price for them. They cannot go lower already. No matter how badly or how well I do, I will not sell lower than what I did on the first day. I will only find opportunity to increase. Okay, so to quote some examples, we have mega developments last few years, right? So you have Avenue South, for example. First year, you sell 413 out of 1,000. So that's about 38%. Sales, you still grow 20% over the 4 years of a new launch. Okay, Florence, first year you sell 500 units, 37%. Your price still went up by 26%. Okay, Treasure, first year you sell 37%. The price still grew by 15% throughout the new sales period. And Kent, okay, which is next to where our show flat is. Okay, first year you sell 109, which is only 13%, but they still never drop price. The price still gradually go up, as you can see from the graph. Okay, so what is the security price? Okay, so for example, I've shown you already. So even if developers sell 20% or 40%, they still don't they still don't drop price. They still increase price. So in the worst case scenario, if your buyer is really very concerned about it, based on these numbers, okay, we're looking at TERRA Hill. What's our 20%, 54 units, and what's our 40%, 108 units? I can close to and guarantee you we sure will achieve at least 108 units. So there's really no basis for within the development itself also to worry that there's any down price. So I think based on that, we covered mostly, market, new norm is set to stay. Developer, even if they wanted to, they cannot sell lower. Future price, okay, once you have a new norm, it's hard to revert. Okay, future tenders will likely be at least the same, if not higher than what we have now. Within the development itself, even if launch day sales is not good, if you come in on first day, likelihood the developer will still increase price. So I think there's a strong security in the new homes market at the moment. Okay, regardless of what is happening, if you deep dive into real estate itself, there's a lot of things that is independent of what's happening worldwide. Okay, these things cannot change. Okay, so all these are some of the fundamentals which I mentioned of real estate, which makes it whatever it is, there is only a good time and a best time to buy real estate. Of course, we don't know when is good, when is best, but there is very rarely a bad time. And 2023 confirmed non-qualifier as a bad time. So there is still avenue for opportunities in the market. Okay, so last but not least, if you buy new launch, of course, you can shelter yourself from high interest. Okay, generally up interest rate trend lasts about 2 to 3 years. Okay, if you look at TERRA Hill, haven't even started demolishing Flint Park yet. So the earliest they can call for foundation is probably 9 months, 1 year. Okay, that is another 1 year gone. Okay, so even if interest rates continue to go up, if you pay progressive, you are probably only affected at the foundation of framework stage. Okay, and is not much because at foundation you only pay 5% of a loan and at framework you pay 10%. So the progressive difference, even at 3.55%, the difference is quite minute. $100, you just eat one less good meal a month. Okay, but you can cover that already. Okay. Lastly, okay, we also mentioned that there is a window of opportunity because last year we say because there's a record low of units, about 5,000 launched last year. Okay, so assuming that developments generally take about the same time to build finish. So what does this mean? This means that 4 years later or 3 years later, when TERRA hit TOP, the year before will be a record low of developments that TOP in terms of number of units, which means we are in a very good place. Okay, there will be a shortfall in supply just before we TOP, be it buyer who want to buy a brand new and want to wait, or be it tenant, be it renter. We are in a very good place, purely based on the fact that the year before us there is not much supply. Okay, I don't think there's any major launch in the fourth quarter of 2022. So you already don't have the exact number yet until next week. So I think it will be less than 5,000. So I think you compare to the years before, 10,000, 10,000, 11,000, 8,000. No, we are in a good place where we TOP. There's likelihood to be lesser competition. Okay, so one more point for you is that I think with ABSD, okay, there's likely to be lesser rental unit. Okay, the very fact of ABSD means this is your second property, and the very fact that if you want to rent, it means that you have one property you're staying in and one property that the access property that you want to rent, you probably have to pay ABSD. Of course, there's a lot of things, but then again, on average, this is generally the case. Okay, so what we see and what I think the government didn't really realize when they start to implement ABSD is that I think this will cut the supply of units available for rent, because people are generally not willing to pay ABSD. So the people who pay ABSD will get smaller and smaller. So again, opinion, isn't that this directly equate to the number of units available for rental will get lesser and lesser? So does this contribute in a way to our rental shortfall now? So that's food for thought number one. Okay, food for thought number two is that if you happen to have a buyer who's an investor who have higher budget, okay, I think it's a good time to say that actually 3-bedroom is a good opportunity to buy for rental instead. So you ask yourself, in the last maybe 3-4 years, when was the last time you have a buyer that buy a 3 or 4 bedroom is for purely investment one? I would say 80% at least is for own stay, right? So if that is the average profile out there, I would also imagine that in a few years' time, there should be some shortfall in the supply of 3 and 4 bedroom unit for rental, or 3 and 4 bedroom unit for upgrading, or for buyers. So I would say that this is also a target market that you happen to see a buyer that have a greater budget, that they can explore. I'm not saying that they must do, but I think it's an avenue to explore. Okay, so finally, okay, if your buyer is still thinking that still a lot of risk factors, that I want to end off by saying that our real estate market at the end of the day is an artificially moderated market. Okay, since 2011, measure after measure has been done to cool down the market. Okay, so you don't even need to say you need to warm up the market. You just need to, if worst case scenario come, you just need to start tapering off the measures. Okay, imagine tomorrow LTV for second property no more. You can take 75% loan. I'm sure there will be more buyers. Imagine tomorrow there's no more ABSD. I'm sure there will be foreigners. I'm sure there will be people who buy a second property. Okay, imagine you go all the way back to 2009 where there's a financial crisis. Okay, the payment is 5 plus 5 plus 90. I'm sure there will be buyers. Okay, imagine the loan quantum now is 90%. I'm sure there will be buyers. Imagine it's like last time in 2009, you got IAS scheme. You buy already, you don't pay a single cent for capital. You only pay the interest up to TOP. I'm sure there will be buyers. So there's a lot of ways that the market can be revived purely by removing some of the measures over the years that so-called taper the market. So it's end of the day, it's a very safe place. I think if you buy a lot of other investment, there's no security. Whereas this one, you know that there is some measures that can be removed to revive the market. Okay, so ending off, okay, so we see that new launch as a whole, there's a proven track record. We pull out the average growth rate for new homes. Okay, 10 years ago, EC is $700, OCR is 1,000, and RCR is 1,004. Okay, 5 years ago, EC is 900, OCR is 1,004, RCR is 1,007. Okay, last year, EC is 1,285, OCR is close to 1,009, RCR is 2,003. So instead of always asking the question, hey, will price drop? I think the question for people who is looking at new homes is when will the next surge be? Because the next surge can come without warning one. I think the 2021 or 2020 surge come without warning. Nobody expect that during COVID, demand will continue to be so strong. Nobody expect that all the developers suddenly run out of land. Everybody want to fight for land to come to this new land price, to set a new base of the market, to create a new norm. Okay, so the question that is more valid that I always think is, as a first timer, when will you be priced out of the market? Will the next search price you out of the market? And when will the next search be? It can come very suddenly. In a space of 5 years, we see twice already. So we don't know when the next one will be. Okay, or at the very least, we know that, I hope that I've shown you enough numbers that at least the market base is more or less there already. The more likely, much more likely to go up than to come down. Okay, so that covers the market. Okay, I overrun a bit, so we move on quickly into TERRA Hill. So some project details and highlights. Okay, first things first, is developed by Realty and Sunway Developments. Okay, they are very regular partners. So over the years, I'm sure you have marketed some of their properties. Okay, they are BCA top 10 developers, 2017, 18, 2020, and 2021. Okay, they have won a lot of awards. Okay, if you have seen Key Residence, I think it's very hard to disagree that it's nice. It's really a very nice development. Okay, recently they also done Park Central. I think it's also one of the nicest ECs out there. Okay, and Hoi Hub, is a local developer. For those who don't know, they're actually a very established and very big developers. Okay, not only are they a resi developer, they have a diversified portfolio of properties in other countries. And in Singapore, they own 2 hotels, Andas at Dua and Marriott Courtyard. Okay, so they are actually a very, very big developer. Okay, Sunway, I think if you are familiar with Malaysia, they are property arm of Sunway Group, one of the biggest developers in Malaysia. So together, they come together to bring you another nice development at TERRA Hill. So what we have here is 270 units in a very good location, from 2 to 5 bedrooms. Okay, it's a very valuable and limited freehold tenure. Okay, it's a very accessible and connected location. Okay, you have first mover advantage to the Greater Southern Waterfront. You actually come out of your house, you walk 5 minutes, is Greater Southern Waterfront. Everybody in the west sell Greater Southern Waterfront, but TERRA Hill is really at the prime spot, right at the doorstep of the Southern Waterfront. Okay, literally you can walk to the waterfront. Okay, and there is a lot of growth potential. Okay, there's a lot of present demand and there's a lot of future demand. Okay, some development details. I think the only thing I want to highlight here is that fact sheet says it's 270 plus 4 lots, plus 3 lots. Actually, it's 270 plus 4. Okay, it's a very minor detail, but just to correct the fact sheet, this is more correct. Okay, we have 6 blocks of 5 stories with 8 unit core and 3 blocks of 5 story with private live 2 unit core. So these 3 blocks is actually the Prestige series, which we'll touch on a bit more later. Okay, the consultants here for you to reference. Okay, more important is target preview 10th of February and the project account. If you want to collect check, okay, can start to collect already. Okay, so location wise, we are right here at the doorstep of the Southern Waterfront. At the doorstep of the Southern Waterfront. So you walk down 𝒂𝒑 Road, actually, you cross the road, is the Greater Southern Waterfront already. Okay, based on what URA has drawn. Okay, to do Google Map overview. So this is where we are, surrounding amenities. Okay, actual site. Okay, we're actually sitting on the top of the hill. So 𝒂𝒑 Road is an elevator. So as you go, is going up along a hill. So TERRA Hill is on the top of hill. I don't know how to say. So it's from low point to high point. So at the start of 𝒂𝒑 Road is low, and then you slowly go upwards towards TERRA Hill. So our development is actually elevated. This one Jim will go through a bit more later. Okay, more highlight is that in front of us, if you look at now, is the breakthrough mission, but this breakthrough mission have to leave by this year. So actually this ground is zone for education, which means that it won't probably go very high. So if you are buying TERRA Hill, this probably will be an open view all the way to the west, the landed and the school. Okay, other point to note is there's no land for development in the area. Every single plot of land is taken up already. So this is the last opportunity to get a home here, and any future opportunities will cost you more because you have to come from en bloc. Okay, site plan, we have 54 stacks. Okay, on top here is the Prestige series, and below the rest is the Signature series. Again, I leave it to Jim to elaborate, but we have 2 series. Okay, over 54 stacks. Okay, so like I mentioned, the Prestige collection will sit on top of the hill. Okay, elevated at least about 18 meters from the entrance of the site. Okay, and Signature, from 9 to 14 meters. Okay, good setback. Cannot complain. The closest point is here about 14 meters, but otherwise it's all very, very good setback. Okay, even 14 meters is quite a very good distance. Okay, if you talk about a lot of people dream to stay landed, right? I think Jim used this example. Landed, you are back to back with your neighbor. A lot of landed, you are back to back with your neighbor. You don't even have 5 meters. Okay, so it's actually a very, very good distance to have. Okay, so end of the day, the developer's vision at TERRA here is to give you a functional yet innovative design. Okay, they want to enhance the value of whatever site they have acquired, and they want to give you a quality product. Okay, so we move on to the next main pointer, which we think is very, very important. That is the fact that we are freehold. Okay, I think over the years, because there's no freehold, so agent, we all sell, we start to say, hey, 99 very good as freehold. We start to say this script until it become real. You know, a lot of people, wow, yeah, 99 is as good as freehold. But you know, if you come to think of it, can 99 ever be as good as freehold or not? I mean, objectively speaking, of course, we say that because most of the launches we do is 99 year. Okay, but we also say that to correct ourselves, to sort of correct the market. Okay, when I just joined the industry, when the buyer walk into a show flat, they ask you is 99 or freehold, you say 99, they walk out. Okay, so I think we have come up with a lot of selling point for 99 until maybe we forgot how good freehold actually is. So maybe I just want to highlight a bit on why freehold is really very good. Okay, so first things first, of course, freehold means never ending lease. Okay, your lease will never decay. You can pass it from generation to generation. In theory, it means there's unlimited upside because your lease will always be full, okay, as compared to a decaying lease. Okay, more important is that there will never be more freehold. Okay, government only sell a 99-year lease, so the percentage of freehold land will only decrease over time. Okay, as more lease will come about, and it will never increase. And secondly, there's a chance that freehold become leasehold. You know, some developers actually buy freehold and sell as leasehold. You know, and if it's not good, why are they doing that? Okay, a lot of not a lot some private limited family developer. Okay, some are actually quite big. Okay, they sell as 99. After they take back the land and they sell again. So why would they do that unless they see the value? You know, it's a recurring forever. I sell you Silver Sea at 99 years. Later I take back, I redevelop, I take the profit all over again, for example. Okay, so when you have freehold, basically it means you have enhanced home value and you have enhanced land value. Okay, so I just touched on briefly. So first things first, you know, when you have enhanced home value, your home value generally continue to appreciate despite age. Okay, there is a lot of example in the whole Singapore. I can't cover all, so I just draw some examples, some very clear one. So when I think of an old freehold, the first thing that comes down is Pandan Valley. I think very hard to find older than Pandan Valley, right? Probably one of the oldest. Okay, so at in 2002, although it's already 25 years old, okay, in the next 20 years, from 25 years old until 45 years old, it's still appreciated 194%. Okay, how many properties that is so old and over the next 20 years you can see appreciate so much? Okay, of course you will say have not. Okay, I show you exactly right next to Pandan Valley. This is Pine Grove. Pine Grove is leasehold 99, is very close to Pandan Valley. Okay, so at the same age, 25 years old, okay, you only appreciated by 61%. Okay, and then of course some buyer will tell you, no, you take different time period, different market condition. So okay, I compare the same market condition. So in 2009, when Pine Grove is 25 years old and Pandan Valley is 32 years old, 7 years older, we look at the same time frame. Okay, Pandan Valley is older, okay, but you appreciated by 96%. Okay, from 709, cheaper than Pandan Valley, to 1389, more expensive than Pandan Valley. Okay, in the same time, despite being 7 years older. Okay, so this is the so-called power of freehold. You know, the lease technically is non-existent. You don't have a lease, you can wait forever. Okay, you also have greater stamina. Over time, you generally see freehold either all the way better, or they catch up, or they grow at a faster pace. Okay, again, there's a lot of examples in the whole Singapore. I draw out some examples that I thought of when I was doing the slide. Okay, so first example is at Tanjong Rhu, 2015. So at Park Shaw, TOP 1995, 10 years older than Water Place, which is leasehold 99. Okay, so in the same time frame when Water Place was launched in about 2001, 2002, okay, Park Shaw is about $701. Okay, Water Place is $715. Okay, more expensive. Okay, fast forward to today. Okay, Park Shaw, remember, is 10 years older than Water Place. Water Place now left about 75 years. Okay, now Park Shaw is commanding 1705, whereas Water Place on average is 1505. Okay, so in the span of the 20 years, Park Shaw, an older development that's freehold, went from being lower to $200 higher because of the tenure. Okay, I think you look at human behavior. You can ask, hey, left 75 years, oh, I freehold. I think generally it's very clear which is better, right? If the location is the same. Okay, so I think in a nutshell, this is what we mean by freehold. Okay, we have other examples. I don't want to elaborate too much. You know, you have Blossom and 𝒂𝒄𝒓𝒐𝒔𝒔, same thing next to each other. Blossom is older, price is higher now. Okay, even for very, very new one. Okay, I got this because I'm doing botany also. So I thought dairy farm so old sure will be cheaper than Skywood. No, it's not the case. So dairy farm is 1989. Skywood is TOP 2017. It's about 10, 20, 30 years age difference. But Skywood is more expensive than, dairy farm is more expensive than Skywood because it's freehold. Okay, so even across different time span, less than 10 years, 10 years, 20 years, you can see that the value of freehold is always more than a comparable leasehold. Okay, of course, if you're an owner, you want to buy and you want to flip at TOP, then yes, you can say that leasehold grow more because there's no lease decay, your time span is so short. So freehold, when you buy, you pay a premium because this premium will last you for infinity, last you until the end of time. Okay, so yes, that is true that leasehold, if you look at some numbers in the very short frame of time, it does grow faster because freehold got premium. But this premium very, very fast will overtake the lease decay of leasehold 99. Okay, but if you compare, yes, at point of TOP or maybe a very, very young development, yes, there is not forced that leasehold can grow faster than freehold, but I think we look at a longer time span, okay, which in terms of our location, I think it's very good because the more time you have, the more developments in Greater Shelter Waterfront you will see. Okay, so the next thing is the value of land. Okay, so but the Bala table, sometimes we show people will say, hey, why freehold land the value is only 4% more than leasehold? When you buy the land at 99 years, the value is only 96%. Okay, number one, when you take over the land, it's 95 years left already, so it's 95.6. That is okay, small difference. But that's number two is that yes, you are only about 4% higher, but this 4% higher is for infinity. You can roll this 4% forever. Okay, so I just put it in layman terms. So today, the site next to TERRA Hill, a GLS 99, site at 2,000. Okay, so our land value should be 2080 10 years time, another site B, 103,000. Now our land value is 3120. But site A will not grow the same as TERRA Hill because of this decay. Site A now 10 years later, so it's left left about 90% of or 85% of a freehold. Left about 91% of a freehold development stage. So your value is lower. So this is only one launch, but in theory, this process can go on forever. For every new site that comes up, okay, my value will be higher than you. So just now I show you the trend, right? Land price will go up. So forever, my land will be valued higher and higher and higher, will grow with the land price rather than drop as the land price is going up because of my lease decay. So in theory, it can repeat forever. Okay, so lastly, okay, freehold land is finite. Okay, you cannot create new freehold land. The only way is through collective sale. Okay, so you want to buy freehold, you need to convince existing freehold development to sell, right? So developer usually pay premium. So the lease will never decay. So you can never tell them, hey, you're running out of time. So I think today there's an article already on Mandarin Garden that because the lease is decaying, so they all can start to kanchong already. Okay, so this point I'll bring in later. Okay, but the fact is that if you think about it, if you think freehold is expensive now, wait until 10 years later when they have the en bloc in 10 years time. Okay, and this en bloc option in the future may only be for freehold, So nowadays, look at collective sale as a boon. You're very happy. People can en bloc you, they pay premium. That's because everything now is relatively young. Okay, you think maybe 20 years time, okay, when things like Laguna Park is left for 35 years, all this, do you think they are able to command the same price? Who will go and buy something that got 35 years is left? Very little, not say cannot find buyer, but very little. Okay, so in the future, when more and more developments start to age, okay, developers can choose to go after low-hanging fruit. No, they will not go after the one that they need to convince you very hard to sell. Because once you are left with 40 years, 35 years, I think you are very happy if the developer come for you, and you know your negotiation, your say in the negotiation is quite limited because it's take it or leave it. I like myself because you cannot find a buyer already. The only hope for you is the developer can buy everyone together. So collective sale may start to become a fire sale for 99. Okay, again, personal opinion. Okay, we don't know. Okay, but my guess is in 20, 30 years time, collective sale is a fire sale because I'm left with 20 years, 30 years. The only person can sell to a developer. So if I'm a developer, I'll go after low-hanging fruit. There's no reason for me to go and fight. Go and convince this 80-year, 70-year left one when I got this 30-year left. I think today the article in Mandarin Garden can so-called partly say, but the other thing is Laguna Park law, now ask for so high, 55 years left, you take 25 years away, left 30 years, do you think they can still ask for this kind of price? I don't think so. So I think that is mega. So there's a lot of smaller developments that, will be low-hanging fruit. So collective sale may no longer be a thing. When you buy a leasehold, when there's leasehold that's dying, you just stand by and think that, you know, there's no more chance. So this will add to the value of freehold. So when you come at en bloc freehold, this will forever, you cannot pressure me into selling because of tenure. Okay, so it's rare. Okay, even in the last collective sales cycle, you know, only about 8,000 out of 35,000 units were freehold. Okay, and it's depleting. Okay, so last collective cycle, a lot of the freehold is already sold. Okay, so I just explained this graph. Red is the number of freehold units launched that year. Yellow is the number of units left from what is launched. So let's say 2019, you launch 5 projects, total of 4152 units. Okay, at the end of the year, the 5 projects add together left 477 units. Okay, so freehold is hot. Okay, you 1 year launch the 4,100 units that launched that year, 90% were sold, and every year its take up is strong, and there's really nothing much left to buy. Okay, this is not the overall supply in the market. This is of what is launched, how many is left at the end of the year. Okay, so end off, you know, if you think time equals money, what if time lasts forever as opposed to 99 years? So to re-illustrate our selling point, because we've been selling 99 years for so long that sometimes we forget how good freehold is. So just a bit of sharing. Okay, next we come to a bit on the location. So it's a very accessible and well-connected site. Okay, it's walkable to Pasir Panjang MRT in 3 minutes. Okay, don't ask your buyer to go and walk himself and test. Okay, not likely he will do it but this is just to illustrate it's walkable. Okay, but it's probably about 4 minutes you can comfortably get there But if you want to walk fast, 2.5 minutes you can reach in very Panjang. So it's near 350 meters away. Okay, from the MRT, you're very well linked, you know, 2 minutes, 1 stop to Labrador Park, 2 stop to Cambridge. I leave it to you to read the slides yourself. Okay, in the next 1 to 2 years, okay, the circle line will be completed, meaning that from our Pasir Panjang MRT, you'll be able to go to Marina Bay directly. Okay, 6 stops to CBD, 7 stops to Marina Bay. Okay, and then AYE and West Coast Highway is very near. You want to drive, it's very accessible as well. And if you want to cycle, which I think is important to a lot of tenant, Angmoh tenant, you know, I got friends that work in CBD, they say that Angmoh like to cycle to work, shower, or cycle back. Some more extreme one, they'll run to work. Okay, it's a very, very valid location if you want to cycle or run to work. It's near enough to cycle and run to work, which I think will increase the potential tenant pool if you have this kind of profile of tenant looking for a home. Okay, nearby beautiful city, you have everything you need. Okay, we are on top of a hill. Behind us is a hill. In front of us is the sea. Okay, so we are surrounded by, behind us is a lot of greenery, park and reserve. In fact, the very famous canopy walk from our backside gate, you walk out, you walk to the park, the canopy walk is there already. Okay, so this is a very green location as well. Okay, and there's some people who say there's no good school nearby. I correct that, there is good school nearby, just that it's not primary school, and just that it's not with 1 km. Okay, so near us, we have NUS, about 8 minutes drive, we have UWC, Dover branch, about 12 minutes, ACS, about 11 minutes. Okay, you have Fairfield, about 11 minutes, NUS High School, about 12 minutes, Nanhua, about 15 minutes, okay, Radin, about 9 minutes, Singapore Poly, about 13 minutes. Okay, so all these are near enough to us to benefit from it. Okay, so all in all, this is a very good location. Either both work, live, and play, all is covered. Okay, and the more important thing is in front of us, there's transformation. Okay, so what is happening in front of us is the Greater Southern Waterfront. I think in the last 2-3 years, you'll still hear the very soon already. So I will hot link the video to the slide later. Okay, but I will not show now. I think some people really watched 10 times already. Okay, but to summarize what will happen. Okay, basically what this means is Singapore's most important plans for development as a global financial center for the next 30 to 50 years is at your doorstep. Okay, this is a long-term plan. This is a big area. This covers the entire of Singapore South Coast, and everything that you can think of is going to be there. Okay, so maybe from 5 years later, you know, when they start to announce, every year there will be announcement. I reckon, you know, every year, every 1 or 2 years, something will come up there. Okay, so you have continual growth story maybe for the next 30 to 50 years. We'll start one month, sooner or later, they'll announce what they're going to do with the resi. They're going to announce GLS there. They're going to have to tell you what offices will be there. They're going to launch tender for commercial there. So I would reckon once the ball start rolling, maybe every year you have something exciting to look forward to, because this is a very blank canvas and it's right at your doorstep. Okay, so this one I'll hot link to the slide. I don't want to play already because I think a lot of people watch a lot of time already. Okay, but to summarize, so basically you have redevelopment of Keppel Club to homes. Okay, you have the freeing up of prime land for redevelopment by moving away all the port and terminal. So the port and terminal will start moving by 2027 and progressively. So all these prime land, like I say, every year there may be a storyline for you. Okay, once the ball start rolling. Okay, the old power station in Pasir Panjang will be repurposed to fund for like 𝒂𝒑𝒍𝒍's powerhouse. Okay, Pulau Brani will be developed into a tourist destination combined with development of Sentosa. So you could have Disney World there. I don't know, I mean, it's a tourist destination. It's whole island. I don't think they will do something very steady there. It's probably kind of big scale. Okay, for those park nature lovers, the whole of West Coast will be linked to the East Coast through the Greater Southern Waterfront. So next time you can literally cycle from West Coast to East Coast or jog from West Coast to East Coast. Okay, and all in all, this is the long-term plans for Singapore's future hub for work, live, and play. Okay, so good thing about our government is they announce it, they will do They won't announce it, then they forget about it. Especially something on this scale. So I think you can look forward to this major transformation without the pressure of a 99-year lease. Okay, so if you leave it to your children may be the one that reap the benefit. But in the front, when you come, you have the next CBD, our doorstep, you have Disneyland, our doorstep, and the value triple, quadruple, your children will benefit, and they don't have to worry that only 50-year lease. Yes, there's a lot of things, but at least left 50 years, who want to buy? No, your lease will still be full. Okay, you don't have a lease, you have a freehold. Okay, so all in all, there's a strong potential for appreciation. So what happened when government spent? Okay, again, a lot of examples. I just draw your example to sale. Okay, so when it was launched, it was 995. Okay, in 2010, when a lot of the things are announced and starting to complete, it has more than doubled to 2220. So can we see this kind of effect at TERRA Hill? I think yes, and sale is 99 years there. So you must also take into consideration the time they spend waiting is not good for the lease, but for us, we got no lease to worry about. Okay, so it's really at the doorstep. So you can see from this drone peak, okay, from where we see, I have Greater Southern Waterfront to your front. And even if you don't want to bang on Greater Southern Waterfront, we are surrounded by a lot of opportunities. We will have strong demand, okay, from both owners and tenants. Okay, so you have a lot of offices near you within very near distance. Okay, so first is Mapletree Park. Okay, if you came to a show flat, you came by West Coast Highway, and you came early, you probably will see the long queue that is starting to go in. So it's actually very big. Okay, if you have not been there, okay, just to share with you, actually, it is 2.9 million square feet of office space. Okay, so major tenants include HSBC, Google, Media Development Authority Singapore, Oracle, etc. Okay, Harbourfront, okay, you have the bank there, you have 2 office buildings. Okay, we are near enough to One North. Okay, so One North, we have about 50,000 knowledge workers. We are very, very close to One North as well. Okay, so if you want a home in this area, okay, there is no competition. Okay, so whatever private non-landed that's near us, okay, we have the Peak, okay, he's TOP in 1998, there's 20 units. You have Island View, TOP in 1984, 72 units. In front of beside us is Pep Hill Condo, okay, TOP 1998, 32 units. Okay, then you have Fragrance Court, Cassandra, and Ria. Okay, what they have in common, all these are smallish boutique developments. Okay, it's not full condo facilities, number one. Number two is old, they are all old. So you don't expect it to be very modern. Okay, in fact, one of the agents who just showed one of the units tell me it's a walk-up. Okay, there's no lift one. Okay, so we are the only new modern development there. Okay, and we are probably the only full facilities, nice, modern, etc. There's no options for a modern home in the area. Okay, but then again, the buyers that are staying there, if they want to choose to upgrade, you have a very ready pool of buyers, because all these buyers who buy that actually make a lot of money. Okay, so at the peak, okay, there's a unit in November, it was transacted at 5.6. Okay, the profit is a very cool $3.6 million. Okay, Island View, there's a unit that transacted at 5.09. Also, the profit a very cool $3.1 million. Okay, Pasir, although you see only 800,000 profit, but the transacted price is only 200,000, 2 million, so it's like double. Cassandra also, transacted 1.7, but actually the profit is 1.4. Okay, so you have a ready pool of buyers in the future, as the house get older or they think they don't need so big. Okay, they want to move to something modern, still in the same area, they want something newer, but they compromise in size, already, don't need so big, children move out already. You have this ready pool of buyers who will probably look at TERRA Hill. Okay, and you have landed again, same story, already don't need so big, you want to climb stairs, you want to downgrade, or you want to move to a condo, the landed on our west, all transacting about 3 to 5 million. So you have a very ready pool of potential buyer in the future. And if you want this area, technically you only look at TERRA Hill. You will not say, hey, I go and buy the old one that's 1984. You will view all, by then you'll fall in love with the latest one. And by then you probably don't need the size of the bigger ones as well. And quantum of TERRA Hill will still be lower despite higher PSF. Okay, so you don't have to worry about competition. So TERRA Hill will be the one and only. Okay, you don't have to worry something newer come out and overtake you. okay, be it for rent or be it for sale, okay, because there's no land, okay, there's really no land. Nearby got zero land already. Any land will have to come from en bloc. And if you have been following the news, way back in 2014, Fragrance Court is already asking for 1235 PSF PPR. Okay, so how much will the asking price be now? Okay, especially if TERRA Hills sell well. So how much will the asking price be? I mean, if the owner can make 3.6 million by reselling, how much you want to car the developer? You think of it yourself, lah. You know, it's not likely that they will let go cheap to a developer. Anyway, it's all freehold. Okay, so checklist of the factors that will lead to appreciation, I think all fulfill lah. Your connectivity, your amenities, your transformation, your rentability, and you're very exclusive. Okay, so the typical things that will cause appreciation, I think we cover it all here. Okay, so lastly, before I hand over the gym, I just touch on quickly on the price. Okay, so first thing is price matrix. I think I want to tell you, please don't buy too much into this. Okay, we don't have an indication from the developer. Okay, what I put here is as a representation, at what PSF, what price it will be. And I also want to shut out the 2004 and 2003 column lah. I think if you look at it, the average new launch in RCR this year, including leasehold, including the really not so good RCR, is already 2005 leh. You cannot expect TERRA Hill to be selling at 2003 or 2004 lah. I think it's not realistic. Okay, I will show you some numbers later, how much it costs to buy a RCR freehold today. Okay, so if you look at these numbers, I think two things justify our price. At the same time, I want to just share with you lah. Don't think it will be 2003 or 2004 lah. It's not going to happen. Okay, even at 2005, which probably is more likely than 2004-50, I think it's a very good price, which I will show you later. Okay. And the other thing I'll show you is I don't think the Prestige series, just because it's big, the PSL will be lower. Okay, for most luxurious developments, the best units is better because it's higher in terms of PSL. Because best facing, best finishes, and premium. Okay, so this will follow the luxury condo format. Okay, so just because it's big, don't expect it to be a low PSF. Okay, so first thing, the average RCR transaction in 2023 this year achieved so far this year is 2499. So you cannot be telling me a freehold in one of the best locations in RCR is going to be lower than 2499 lah. The average will not be lower than that. Okay, even at last year it's 2356 already. Okay, so it's quite unrealistic to expect 23XX or 24XX lah, put it that way, when the average this year is already 2499. Okay, so it's about 50% higher than resale. So are we a bargain compared to resale? I would assume so lah. So if you think that new launch cost 50% more than resale, you look at the nearby resale that that is not the doorstep one. That one I think don't even compare because that one quantum so high. It's about, in terms of per square foot, it's about 50 more than 50. If you add 50% to all these per square foot achieved at the nearby freehold that's more new, okay, you will get more than 2005. Okay, so again, 2005 I think is a very attractive price, even if it's at 2005. Okay, then we look at new launch. Okay, what is launched nearby? 99 years. What has been achieved? So Carriage Hill, right next to our show flat. Okay, it's 99 years. Is I don't think it's very walkable to MRT lah, to be honest. Okay, you achieve up to 2,150 already. Okay, Normanton Park you achieve about 2,000. Okay, One North Eden much further up. Okay, away from Waterfront. Of course, different set of selling point. Okay, but even if you assume the two location is comparable, okay, is is about the same. Okay, but purely based on tenure freehold. If you think freehold tenure is worth 10% more, you add 10% to 2250, you get 2005 to 2006. Yeah, so the value is there lah. I think I don't need to justify the price so much. That this is probably a very attractive price. Okay, if you want somewhere along the Circle Line, okay, Holland Village is going at about achieve about 3004. Okay, One North Eden we covered, achieve about 2257. Okay, if you go one stop down, freehold resale, Telok Blangah is about 2,430. Okay, you go to Reef, it's about 2008. You go to Avenue South, achieve about 2006. And if you go to the uncompleted One Burnham, achieve about 3001. Okay, majority of these are leasehold. Okay, so again, you take all these. Even if you think the location is better, you factor in a freehold premium. I give it a 10, 15, 20%. You will see that even if I ask for 2006, 2007, it's very cheap compared to what has been achieved. I don't think it's 2007. Okay, then we look at more closer to us and RCR new launch last year. So Leaf is D15. So I take it that one is East Coast, one is West Coast. Some people stay in the East, they like East Coast. Some people stay in the West, they like West Coast. But West, I always think is better because you have a growth story in Greater Sheldon Waterfront. Okay, but let's look at what has been achieved for at least for 99 years. So 2,869 PSF has been achieved at least. Okay, so although I show you average PSF for 2022 is 2421, but again, if you value freehold at just 15% more, you add 15%, that is $360 more. Okay, that is 2007 plus already. That if you value freehold at just 15% more than leasehold, okay, if value at 10% is plus 240, that's about $2,660 or so, based on 2022 average. Okay, 2023 average is already 2005. Okay, so I think even at 2526, this is a number that really is very attractive in compared to the new norm which we have covered at the first part of the briefing today. Okay, so again, new launch RCR average achieved in 2023 so far is 2499. Okay, cannot be 2003 at Terra Hill, cannot be 2004 at Terra Hill. I don't think you can expect such average prices at Terra Hill. Okay, and lastly, okay, I mentioned got no supply in the market, right? So yes, if you want to look for a RCR freehold, what is in the market now? I give you selected lah. I cannot cover all. Okay, if you go to Amber Park, okay, on the East Coast, okay, like I said lah, we are West Coast, I look at East Coast lah. The left 5-bedroom lah, so the cheapest unit you can find is 5.08 at 2436 PSF. Okay, you look at Mayor Mansion, okay, the starting price for a 2-bedroom is 2.14, 3,133 PSF. Okay, Mayor House, this unit sold already, don't need to say, but when it was available, it's 2008 PSF for a 3-bedroom. Okay, of course, okay, never mind, you don't compare East Coast, compare other part of Singapore. So we go to Myra, Potong Pasir. Okay, the 2-bedroom start from 2569 PSF. So like I say, cannot expect us to have 2003 lah. It's really not realistic. Okay, at Potong Pasir is 1.9 boutique development. Okay, Sky Everton, Sheldon Waterfront selling point also left with a penthouse. That's 3,200 PSF. Okay, if you compare this to our signature series penthouse, we won't be 3,200 lah. But again, how much discount do we think we can get off 3,200? Okay, and then if you go all the way to D8, you have higher quantum. Okay, the 2-bedroom plus family now is 2.25. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying these are expensive. I'm just saying that at whatever price we launch at, we are very competitive or even attractive compared to what is the market now for RCR freehold. Okay, so when we come to signature, you look at large format units, at Mayor House, you transacted about 4.8 to 5.2 million. This is 1873 square feet. Our 1,800 plus Prestige series is 4-bedroom. So actually you get 1-bedroom more and probably a bit lower quantum or about same quantum. Okay, 15 Holland Hill, this one okay lah. I would say for sure better location it's Holland Village. But the 3-bedroom at 1,800 square feet is going about more 5.5 million. And if you want a 4-bedroom, 2,300 square feet is 7 million to 7.5 million. Okay, so I would say even if you look at our signature series, our Prestige series collection is in a very sweet spot. And if you want this kind of 1,800 square feet unit, I don't think you can find much for 4-bedroom. So there will be buyers who are looking for large scale single loading units. And the only option is at Terra Hill, and comparatively to the surrounding, is really not expensive to what has been achieved at whatever PSF that we ask for. Okay, finally, okay, we look at what is coming up in 2023. So what is the price of things that's expected to launch this year? So if we are looking at nearby, okay, the only nearby one is the Steam Barracks, which is the upcoming One North sites, okay, 1246 and 1210. So like I say, some people may think One North better, some people may think Terra Hill better. Okay, let's take it that we compromise, the location is about the same. So if the freehold advantage, you just take it that it's 10-15%. Okay, my land price is only about 5% higher than the One North sites. Okay, and then if you go further up to the Pine Grove area, okay, this Pine Grove site is 1318 PSF. Okay, and as far as where Lakeside, okay, is the price was 1260 PSF PPR. Our price is 1318. Okay, so I would say that our location is good lah. I would say that it's at least comparable to the sites on our west. Okay, but if you add in a freehold premium to all these prices, wherever you value the freehold premium at, be it 10%, 20%, 30%, we are outstanding in terms of land price. Okay, if you want to go closer to town, okay, Realty Center may or may not happen already. Okay, it's 2004 the land price. Maxwell House, the land price is 1665. Okay, and if you look to the traditional 9, 10, 11 kind of areas, the lowest I can find the Tan Chong building is 1005. Okay, Watten is about 1,007, and Doorstep by King Leong, which I don't think they will launch is 1,006. Okay, so in terms of left and right, I think we are in a very, very good place. Okay, so all in all, I think in terms of price, okay, TERRA Hill will set the tone, okay, for pricing. I don't think you can find anything, whatever price TERRA Hill sell, you won't find it. I don't think you can find any comparable freehold that will sell below what TERRA Hill is selling. Okay, but in fact, you'll find a lot of comparable leasehold that's probably selling at what TERRA Hill is selling. Okay, so we will set the tone for pricing, and this is probably the best value, even if at 2.6. Okay, I don't even say 2.5. Even at 2.6, this will probably be the best value for freehold home in 2023. Okay, so that's all I have.
So without further ado, okay. Now, first of all, TERRA Hill, we are definitely marketing it on that we are actually a hill top home. So what do we mean by that? You can see the entire development is just sitting on top of a hill. All right. So as 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 has also touched on earlier, just very briefly, it's like from the start of the development all the way to the end, you're actually sitting on top of a hill, and the hill is actually elevated. So from the ground all the way to the top is at least a good 20 meters in elevation. All right. So we will go through a little bit of the slides and also some of the challenges that actually that the architect actually faced while they were designing TERRA Hill. Okay. So this is how the terrain actually looks like. So if you can see that 105 is actually at the entrance of Yew Xiang Road, all right, which is the development itself. So if you can see from this is actually block 20. This is actually block 20, which means it's the last block of the entire development. So the facilities level on 20 is actually about 20 meters elevated. All right, it's about 20 meters elevated, means 20 meters higher. All right, and if we are talking about, okay, I just promise myself I shall not say too many all right today. At the end of the development itself, you can see that the high point is actually about 135. So that is what architect was actually sharing with us, that the development itself, from towards the highest point within TERRA Hill is actually a good 30 meters elevation. But just a point to note, how I will actually put it is the facilities over at block 20 itself is about 20 meters elevated. Okay, so if you can see the hill itself is actually about elevated from bottom to higher. So how are they able to put in the facilities, taking into consideration the terrain and how to and also how to maximize the view of TERRA Hill itself, so that most maximum number of units can actually enjoy the view that TERRA Hill, or rather the site itself, can actually provide. All right, so these are part of the challenges of the architect. Okay, so after they put in some drawings and they also wanted to achieve this kind of filling within TERRA Hill itself. Okay, and then from this, then they start to put in some of the facilities, some of the design, where to put in the jacuzzi, where to put in the hot tub within the development itself. And finally, ta-da, you have this overall development, you have this site plan, all the facilities. Okay, so of course, like I said, more importantly is actually to see that from the base of Yew Xiang Road all the way to the top. So this is actually block 20. Yeah? So from this to this facility, this level is about 20 meters elevated. To the top is actually about 30 meters. But I think the key thing for us as salesperson to actually bring to our client is that the ground is actually going from low all the way to the high. All right, this is what we need to know. So which means if you are taking a unit on the rear end of or rather a block at the rear end of the development, that's the highest point. All right, so that's something you have to take note. If you can also see this little pocket over here. Now this is actually the basement car park. So the entire TERRA Hill will all be basement car park. So 270 units, we have 274 plus 4 handicap lots plus EV lots. Okay, so this is actually what we mean by the lower basement, the middle basement, as well as the upper basement. But the car parks are interlinked. Later I have a slide that actually show you how the car parks are linked from the lower to medium to upper. All right. Okay, so the site layout, like what, okay, so the site layout itself, the one that's highlighted in red is actually the signature, all right, the signature collection. So signature actually, the unit mix actually constitutes from a 2-bedroom all the way to a 5-bedroom penthouse, right? The 3 blocks behind is actually the prestige collection. Prestige collection, there will only be 3 blocks, all right? There will be 3 blocks, and it only consists of 4-bedroom as well as the 5-bedroom penthouse, of which the 4-bedroom is 1,896 square feet, all right, and the 5-bedroom is a 3,035 square feet. Now, the signature collection, there will also be 4-bedroom layouts in the signature collection, which the 4 bedrooms will be about 1,300 over square feet. Okay, so don't only think that within TERRA Hill itself, the 4 bedrooms are all the 1,008. We also have the typical 1,300 units. The key difference is the prestige, all the units comes with private lift. Whereas for the signature, no private lift at all. Okay, but we got penthouses, we got all the bedroom types, but just that no private lift. Okay, so for Prestige itself, each block itself, there's each level there will only be 2 units. Okay, whereas for Signature, per level there will be 8 units. Now, so this is how the blocks of the entire TERRA Hill has actually was actually designed. So what the architect actually told us is the orientation of the block was actually towards the northeast as well as the northwest direction, so as to maximize the best view within the development itself. Not forgetting we're actually sitting on top of a hill, and also we want there will be no units, and also in a way it's also to minimize the western facing unit. So west is actually here. All right, so if you can see that there's no units over here that is directly facing west, the most is only a slanted kind of like an angle. Okay, so I will show you what are the expected kind of views using our drone. I mean from a drone view, but just to give you a very big overview of what it is. Now this is towards the northeast, so like what Guo Feng also mentioned, this is actually the island view as well as the peak. All right, so this is the Prestige collection, the 3 blocks, block 20, block 20A, and block 20B. Now there will be two bedrooms, 2 of the bedrooms within the 4 bedroom unit. Okay, that will be facing towards the rear. Okay, so if you really want a totally unblocked and totally green kind of like, block 20 is probably the one. All right, but 20A, 20B itself, the 2 of the rooms will be facing backwards. But you just got to know that in landed context, all the bed, I mean, it's very rare for a landed to actually be very close to a unit behind, especially if it's actually on top of a hill as well. All right, as the hill goes slanting upwards, so the unit that's at the back, which is sitting on a higher ground, all right, you will always have bedrooms facing one another, which is pretty common in terms of a landed. So this is the so for the Prestige, right? What is the kind of demographics of the buyers that we're looking for? It's a 1,894 square feet freehold 4-bedroom. If you've seen the show flat, it really feels like a landed, feels like a terrace house. Now, if you've got PRs, rich PRs, who doesn't get LDAU approval for their landed, all right, this is the kind of bedroom. This is the kind of bedroom type that will actually suit them a lot. Okay, or if not, you can also look at the 5-bedroom, which is the 3,035 square feet. Now, this is towards the northwest direction. All right, this is towards the northwest. So you can see over at the northwest direction, these are all the landed houses. And because TERRA Hill is actually sitting on a higher ground, so the landed houses are actually on the lower ground. So if you are sitting on a higher ground, most of the units should have actually a very good view of the rooftop, the rooftop view of all the landed houses. If not, you should be higher than the units itself, than the landed houses itself. Okay, so this is towards the southwest direction, and also developer or rather architect has told us that if you are seated on the highest floor of block 20, 20A, and 20B, you will be able to get a glimpse of the sea view. And this, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Pasir Panjang Terminal. This is where Greater Southern Waterfront is going to happen. It is just get close to TERRA Hill itself. All right, and it's a very exciting transformation going on. Now, southeast itself, this is where 𝒂𝒑𝒏's condo is. Okay, where 𝒂𝒑𝒏's condo is, and also we will have the smaller bedroom types that's here. Like for example, majority of the 2 bedrooms without balcony will be facing on this part. Will be at this part. Okay, so I'll just go on now. This is actually from the artist's impression given by the architect, so you can see actually the glimpse of the sea view. So this is the only 3 blocks that developers, architect mentioned to us that the top floor you probably be able to get a glimpse of the sea view. Now they didn't mention any of the other blocks. Even the block that's actually right in front, right at the entrance, they didn't mention that. So I think just just in case you do not, or rather just to prevent us going into any form of misrepresentation, so we'll just follow what the developer says. All right, the top floor of the block 20, 20, and 20B, you'll probably be able to get a glimpse of the sea view. Now, any of the unit, if you can get sea view, it's going to be a bonus. But I hope none of our ER agents will go and commit on this. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually the distance. All right, the distance between block to block. So you will have this in time, so not to worry. Okay, so this is actually the plan of the car park. So entrance will be 2 vehicular entrance, 1 exit. Okay, so this blue dotted line is actually the visitors entrance. So this is actually the arrival hall. Sorry, the residence or the visitors entrance. Okay, so you can drive in. So this will be the arrival hall. You get into this. The yellow part are all the car parks. So it's all interlinked. All right, all interlinked, and then this will be the exit. Now this extra little arrow here is actually the service access. So where does it access to? All right, so service access doesn't go into our car park. There's actually another specialized route for it, or a designated route for the service truck to actually come in. So this red color ones are actually the genset, the bin center. All right, they'll be all located. So they are all located at the basement car park. So on the surface of TERRA here, you will not see any genset, you will not see any bin center, nothing. It's all tucked at the basement of the car park itself. Right, so this is actually the elevation, like I mentioned, from the base all the way to the top of this landscape is already about 20 meters. Okay, so facade, the architect actually wants to bring TERRA here into what they call actually a sleek, a pure, as well as a timeless kind of like a design. Okay, so these are the glass curtains, so you can just read this. I will not go into it because I also don't know how to explain how an architect thinks, but I will show you what is the end product of how TERRA actually looks like. Yes, so this is actually just an artist's impression. But one of the things I want to highlight is we can see the bedrooms, right? There will be one panel which is actually a glass curtain wall. So it's actually an entire panel of window, or rather a glass. All right, so it allows maximum light to actually enter into the unit. So the windows are actually right beside this. So the other panel, you actually have two panels of the window where you can actually open it. Okay, which I thought is a very nice design. Something special. It's not, if you see most of the development is right and left, you can open the middle panel. It's just one square that will be permanently fixed. Okay, but I thought this design is pretty nice, where you actually have one entire glass window curtain, and then the other panel you can actually have two windows. Okay, so you also have the horizontal ledge with the edging detail. Okay, and if you can see all this perforated screen, the design. If you have seen my model, it will actually give a clear representation of what is shown in this picture. Okay, so this TERRA here is actually going for the Green Mark Platinum as well as the super low energy. So these are some of the things that will be provided in TERRA Hill for them to actually try to get this award. So just to note, especially for clients who actually love this kind of things, right? You would want to highlight to them, for example, there will be solar panel provision to actually cover the energy load in some of the common areas within TERRA Hill itself. The air condition, all right, air condition will all come with 5 ticks, so energy efficient. The water, it will be a 90% 3 ticks. Now, I think more and more residents or even tenants or even residents or owners start to get a little bit more concerned about recycling. All right, so there will be a oh my God, I don't know if it's anyway, there will be a chute just right beside the common chute where you can actually throw or rather recycle your items. All right, so this will all be part, and all the rubbish chute will actually be at the common corridor. So just right beside it, there will be another chute for recyclable items. Okay, so these are just part of it. That were part of the things. So in hope that all this, and also each of the units will also be giving a fan to enhance the circulation within the unit. So actually minimize, turning on the aircon and using of more energy. All right. So facilities-wise, there will be 6 key zones. So the first one will be actually the arrival, and then after that you'll come to the valley, sanctuary, alcove, enclave, as well as the hillside. Okay, so arrival, keep it simple, nothing much. There will be a guardhouse with a green roof. There will be a drop-off water feature, and then arrival plaza. So this is how the arrival plaza will look like. So if you can see that this is actually towards the next part of the facilities, which is towards the valley. But just to note, any of your guests or even residents after the drop-off, there is actually a lift here. All right, there's actually a lift there. You can actually take a lift up to this level and walk into the development. But if you are but your mood is like especially nice, you want to see a cascading waterfall, then you can just take the stairs up into the next segment of the facilities, which is what we call the valley. All right, so what is the valley? So valley itself will of course come with water, come with nature. Okay, so this is what the architects are actually trying to achieve. So they can see these are the steps, right? So this steps itself is actually towards the water courtyard. All right, so over here you can also see that there is a garden trail, there's a flower garden trail, wooden trail, for you to walk around there. So it's actually a very soothing kind of like a environment within this. So this is actually the cascading waterfall, the water courtyard over at the valley. All right. So the next part is the sanctuary, pretty interesting. Now, another idea of this, how the architects actually design is they want to create some kind of like an obstacle course. It's not like you come to this part, you only finish with one station, and then after that, the rest of the station doesn't make sense to you. So, they wanted to do it something like an obstacle course within their facilities itself. So what do I mean? Okay, so before I touch on that, this is also one of the areas that we will actually have a barbecue pit as well as a teppanyaki pavilion. Now, in the entire development, there will be only 2 areas for barbecue pavilion and 1 teppanyaki. So one of them is actually here. Okay, so the barbecue will be hardcore charcoal, and then the teppanyaki will actually be a gas stove. All right, so there will be also a basketball loop, not a court, just a loop. The loop, throw ball, okay, that's it. Okay, so this is actually the next part of it. So just to give you an idea, So like for example, if you actually use the yoga deck over here, after C14, so after a good yoga, you relax, you cool down, what you can do is you can actually come to this C7, which is the outdoor shower. Okay, take a quick rinse, and then after that, jump into this C11, which is actually a jacuzzi seat. Means you will sit down, let the bubble blow onto you, get a little bit of enjoyment, and then you can jump into the hot tub here, which is C12. After you jump into the hot tub, you can actually come into 13, where you can actually just soak your entire body into the jacuzzi lounges where your whole body can go in. All right, so which means C11, you can only sit, you can't lie down. Whereas for C13, you can actually lie down. So it's something like I mentioned, it's like this, in a way, obstacle course, or if not, it's like a series of activities that you can actually enjoy over at this entire area. Okay, so this is how the part will look like. So this is actually the part of the jacuzzi where you can sit down. This is the hot tub. All right, and this is the part that you can actually totally lie down. All right, the jacuzzi area. Okay, so the alcove, this is my personal favorite within the entire development. So this is actually more for kids. So if you want to get a little bit of idea how this creek comes about, go and look at this. Go and look at this YouTube. It's called Bluey the Creek. From this animation, this is how they actually come. This is how this alcove is actually being designed. So it's actually really caters to a lot of kids. Okay, so another thing is D6. There will be a function room here called the quick room, and then there will be an obstacle course for the kids to play around with. So how does it look like? I will show you the artist impression. All right, so this is actually the quick function room itself. So this is the obstacle course for the kids. So what happens is the kids can come in from here, climb up. All right, and then take the slide, zoom down, run or walk to the end of here. Then there will be another slide here, slide down, come here, and then they can actually hop onto the stones, jump onto the stones, play with it. Come up here. Once they're done, what do they do? Don't go back into the function room because adults are talking, right? They can just continue to go. So ask them to go a few rounds, 10 rounds, 20 rounds until the end of the party. Then by the time they finish, right, bring them home, they're tired, let them sleep. That's it. Parents are very happy about it. Okay? So this part, I think, okay, so the idea is more of like having kids to let them have a chance to actually, I don't know, sensory stuff. Okay, like they can hop onto the stone, and then they can play with some water. The water are just all anchored deep. So I thought this is actually a very nice area because we do have a playground. But the idea of kids going to the playground is just play the slide, you know, there's nothing for them to look forward to. But I thought this alcove is actually going to be a very family friendly thing where kids they can actually really be playing around. Okay, while the parents are actually hanging out over at the quick function room. So this is how the quick function room will look like. There will be a little pantry over here, and this is the size of it. Okay, so this is how the artist's impression of the interior will look like. Now on Cliff, will be the main facilities area where you got a 50 meters pool. Your function room will be here, your gym will be here. Okay, your gym and your pool also be here. And your gym and a function room, and also there will be a media room that will be here as well. Okay, so over here we also got the kids area, and then we also got a place where you got you can actually enjoy the pool here. We can see the E7, which is the aqua lounge. This is what most developments will have, but I think the design of it will be the part that we want to let your buyers feel TERRA is something slightly different. Okay, because we are seated on a hill itself. So that's why, because of the terrain. So how to actually make use of the terrain to be able to fit the facilities in. Okay, so this is the event. So this is how our gym will be. All right, so our gym will be on top of the function room, and you can see that this entire gym is actually larger than the function room. So you can see this is actually almost the same idea as this. Okay, so the gym will also be overlooking at a 50 meters pool. Okay, so this is how the gym will look like. So like I mentioned about this TERRA, something special about this. This is the function room. The gym itself will actually come with a social space. Okay, most of the condominiums in terms of the gym is after you work out, you just tap the access card, get home, and then that's it. All right, but I think TERRA here itself, developers are just creating some kind of social space where after your gym workout, you know, you can just hang around there, get to know the residents, and also make more friends within the environment, within the area, within the development as well. So I thought this is quite a good idea, and something unique which we really don't see. Every development you go to, the gym is just machine. You can see dumbbell, kong, that's it. But over here, you can start to have coffee, you can start to read newspapers, you can start to chit chat, you know. I thought it's a very nice idea. to actually provide for the residents of TERRA Hill. Okay, so this is how the gym will look like. So the machine will be here overlooking at the 50 meters pool, and then you also have a social space over here. All right, so this is how they look like I mentioned. The gym itself will be overlooking at the 50 meters pool. Okay, so this is how the function room will look like. So there will be one special media room here, and then the toilets, everything will be tucked to one side. Okay, closer towards the car park. So this is how it look like. So the toilets will be tucked closer towards the car park. So this is how the function will look like. Okay, so this is the media room. If you want to watch a rugby World Cup, if you want to watch a soccer World Cup, this is the best place. You want to have meetings, all right? This is a very nice place. Or if you want to have a movie night with a family, you don't want to turn on aircon at home, you have to turn on aircon here, you know, this is the best place to do it. Okay, hillside, which is the last part of the entire development, or one of the facilities. So there will actually be a barbecue area here. So this will be the second and the last barbecue area here. Okay, so the rest of it will be the fitness terrace, you know, the meditation lawn, the herbs garden. Okay, so for me, I don't have green hands, so I'll probably go there and steal instead of plant chili myself. I'm just kidding, so hope this is not recorded. Okay, so actually F2, there will be another side gate here. So side gate, this is the side gate that will actually lead to Pasir Road, which you can actually link to Cambridge Park. So once you get into Cambridge Park, you're already at the southern regions, all right, of the entire southern regions itself. So you can walk from Cambridge Park all the way to 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏. All right, you can actually walk. So it's a very nice walk around the area as well. Okay, so if you want to live near nature, I think this is what TERRA can also offer to you. So this part will actually show you where the cabanas, pavilions, the barbecue, like I mentioned. All right, you will have this information, don't have to memorize by heart. Okay, project ID brief. Now this is what the provisions within the signature as well as the prestige will give you. Okay, but if you've seen the show flat, this is just something to refresh your memory on. Okay, so the signature itself. So just remember for the signature, the 5-bedroom penthouses is the type E type. The provision will be actually same as the prestige, except it doesn't come with lift lobby. So like I mentioned, prestige, all the units come with private lift. Signature, no private lift at all. Okay, so this is what will be provided. So for the type B and type C, which is a 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom, the flooring, all right, the flooring will be a large format tiles. So this is the bathroom will all also be in tiles. Okay, whereas for type D, which is the 4-bedroom, all right, the 4-bedroom. So this is where the natural it will be in natural marble, and the sizes are the 800 by 800. Most of the time is 600 by 600. If you see my store flat, you can actually see the difference, all right, of what TERRA is able to provide you. So even for the master bath, as well as the wall, comes with natural marble. So only the common bathroom and the floor will actually come with tiles. So you can see what kind of provision developers are actually providing to buyers for 4-bedroom. You get marble flooring for the living, dining, and corridor. Even for the bathroom, the master bath, the flooring is marble. The wall tiles is also marble. So it's only the common room that you will get tiles. Okay, so prestige, more atas areas, almost everything will be marble. Okay, so you can see that the living, dry kitchen, and corridor, natural marble, master bath, and powder room. All right, powder room only for DP1 and EP1. Penthouse will be in natural marble. So common bathroom will be in tiles, and then it will be ducted aircon for the living, dining, as well as the master. All right. So the kitchen-wise, okay. So this is a facility. So these are the brands that we provided for the signature. We have Dietrich, we have Samsung, and then we have Frank. Okay, so we can see, okay, so one other idea about this, the developer mentioned, if you can see the Samsung fridge as well as the washer and dryer, it's not the typical white color model that you'll be getting for the signature. So developer also wants to be slightly different and want to provide a different experience for the buyers of the signature. Even if you're buying a 2-bedroom, you do not have to buy a 2-bedroom unit with a white color washing machine or a white color fridge, which is pretty standard in most of the development. So developers wants to achieve something different, all right, in this. So let me just take a, okay, so this is actually the bedroom, the kitchen type for a B3. So potentially you can actually close this up. Okay, so but what I want to show you is there's a lot of storages that's provided for a lot of bedroom types, which is essential for Singapore context. Okay, because we want to have a lot of storages where we can keep our stuff. Okay, so this is one thing that TERRA is able to provide you. So you can see, for example, a DB box, right? Typical DB box, I think you just get DB box or whatever. So there's actually a display cabinet here. You can actually put some stuff here, your keys, and there will be additional storage over here as well. Okay, so I'll use the next one to explain. So if you can see, this is the kitchen. So if you can see that the storage actually goes all the way to the top of the ceiling. All right, so all the way to the top of the ceiling. All right, so the kitchen top will actually be quartz. All right, kitchen top will be quartz. So if you can see this area. Okay, so even like, for example, on top of the washer and dryer, right, there will be additional worktop. Okay, there will be additional worktop provided as well, even for a 2-bedroom unit. Okay, so this is the three-bedroom kitchen. So you can see that it actually provides a lot of working space. All right, and okay, so this is the top cabinet. So you can see it's almost similar. Idea is actually to give you more. The idea is actually to give you more storages within the kitchen, or and even in the wardrobe itself. Okay, so this is the 3-bedroom. So this is actually the the kitchen itself will also come with a glass. All right, a glass corner that allows naturals to come in. Now, one other thing I want to take note is, if you can see that the oven, this oven is actually not built below the stove, which is again something that I prefer, is because when you have the oven that's below the stove, if you want to use it, you need to squat down, check whether the turkey is already cooked or the chicken before you close it. Whereas if you have it on top here, it is actually more of like you can stand up and then you can settle the oven or whatever. So that is something which I personally like. All right, and I think this is the kind of detail that you will also want to bring up to your buyers as well. Okay, so this is for the Prestige collection. Like I mentioned, Prestige collection will be a little bit more atas. So that's where the brand will use the 𝒂𝒐𝒔𝒔. So it will be, so you see, for the Prestige, you will have a standalone fridge. You will also have an integrated fridge. Okay, have an integrated fridge. And then you also have a wine chiller. You also have a combi oven, which is a steam oven, and the conventional oven. You also have a dishwasher as well. So washer and dryer will be separated. Okay, washer and dryer will be separated. So this is actually how the dry kitchen looks like. Okay, how the dry kitchen looks like. So if you take a look, just to note, for the dry kitchen, the top part is actually not provided. This shelf is actually only for ID. This shelf is only for ID. Okay, so if you can see that even for the dry kitchen, there will be a built-in light at the kitchen cabinet. The top and the backsplash will be in quartz. All right, so the island counter will also be in quartz as well. Okay, this is something I want to highlight because this has not been approved yet. So that's why the photos have been a little bit masked. So I hope you can actually see what I'm seeing, because I know that it's not very clear. Okay, just bear with me. Can you see that there's this tiny little space over here? So what the architect actually told us is this space itself is where all the electrical sockets are positioned. So you can actually use that to charge your phone or charge anything, and then you do not have any wires that's dangling over at the dry kitchen. Because if you can see a lot of other socket, most of them is on this part of the wall. So if you don't use that, and then if you use the put whatever plugs or whatever, so you can see a lot of wires dangling. So they actually want to remove that, and that's why they have this special area where all the sockets and all the plugs will actually be in there. Something special also, and if you can see that this is also the dry kitchen, right? So beneath the dry kitchen, there will also be additional storages as well. Something that I thought is very thoughtful, because this area most of the time is usually just for a bar, stool, chair. There will not be any storages here. But for the Prestige, this is slightly different. Okay, so this is also the dry kitchen where you will have the wine chiller. Okay, you have the wine chiller here. You have the combi oven here. All right, then you have the integrated fridge here. You have the what they call a pull-out ladder. So you can just pull out, and then you can put all your spices or whatever can be there. There will also be storage cabinet, and top part there will also be storages as well. Okay, so this is actually the wet kitchen. So you can see wet kitchen, there is also a lot of space here. But what I want to specifically highlight is this is a five burner thing. Is it called a 5-burner thing? Oh, where is it? Oh, where is it? Yeah, it's supposed to call a 5-burner thing. Only for the Prestige you get a 5-burner. 5-zone 𝒂𝒑 5-burner. Okay, 5-zone 𝒂𝒑 for the Prestige. Okay, 5-zone 𝒂𝒑 for the Prestige. You can also get the separated washer and dryer. You will get a dishwasher here. All right, you also get a dishwasher here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this Prestige, we are really targeting those kind of buyers that like to stay in a landed kind of like a concept, but yet they don't want to climb 2 stories, but they want to enjoy the space. Or of living in something like a landed. So this Prestige 1894 4-bedroom unit will suit them very well. Okay, so for you all to open your eyes, if you got such a client, this is the type of unit you want to bring it out to them, and yet we are freehold. Okay, so this is actually again the wet kitchen. So if you can see on below the DB box, there will be additional storage as well. Okay, now the bathroom. Okay, so this will be the provisions. This will be the brand provided for the signature Laufen, 𝒂𝒐𝒔𝒔, Jessie. Okay. Quite typical. I mean, quite standard. Like you will get all the the rain, not rain shower. You'll get you will get the rain shower, and then you will also get the shower hole, the what do you call it? The shower fittings as well. Okay, the feature tiles and so on, the quad. So this is all you will see once you see my show flat. You understand. I don't want to spend time here. Okay, so this is also for the signature collection. I want to touch more on the prestige, not touch more on the prestige. I want to show you something special over at the prestige. Okay, so for the prestige wise, there will be this will be a 5-zone. So you can see that there will actually be a bathtub here. All right, so this one, there will be a bathtub. Over here, there will be a standing shower. There will be a WC here, and there will be a pool sink here. There will be a 2 sink here. And something also special in terms of the toilet bowl, it will be a rimless WC, comes with cleaner jet and remote control. Yeah, why is it rimless? Just go and Google. They say it's supposed to be very clean. I don't know. I mean, as in after you do your business, you can wash and then it becomes a very clean area or whatever. Okay, go and Google a little bit. I thought this is something quite nice as well. Okay, so like I mentioned, the bathtub and this is the standing shower over here. Okay, so this is for the junior master. So junior master, nothing to shout about. You once you're at my shop, you'll be able to see. So even the 𝒃𝒂𝒃𝒂𝒊𝒏, all right. So this layout itself, all the bedrooms will come with ensuite. Okay, powder room really makes you feel like you're living in the landed. So if you can see, even for example, the powder room, right? The wall and the floor will be in the marble, will be in natural marble. All right, will be natural marble. Powder room, natural marble is your guests when they come to your place, right? They will be happy, or rather, you should be proud, all right, as an owner of the flat. Okay, so wardrobe wise for the prestige itself. Okay, so if you can see that all this the door panels, you know, they will be it will be reflective tinted in bronze glass. So there will also be lightings within the wardrobe itself. So it's supposed to be motion sensor. So when you're near to it, the lights will turn on. So when you're away, the lights will go off. Okay, so this is the idea to have it. So even for example, so this is the master bedroom. All right, master bedroom. You can see in my show flat. If you have not seen it, but if you have seen it, you'll probably you will understand where I'm coming from. All right, so master bedroom itself, you also have an accessories table. You also have a drawer. All right, accessories table as well. Okay, so even for the junior master, all right, even for the junior master, they also have this. All right, and there's also a accessories drawer, and there's also like acting like a small little dresser table here as well. Okay, so we can see it from here. Yeah, this is the part I was telling you about. Okay, so like a dresser table for the junior master. So even junior master has it. Okay, storeroom. Now, one of the good things about having a storeroom, especially the C5 or the bigger than C5 units, this storeroom, the door can actually swing 180 degrees, which means that it's easier for you to pull any of the items out from the storeroom itself. All right, so this is how it looks like. So I thought it's quite neatly tucked into the design and it's just the area. So if you do not notice it, you know, it could look like the overall design. But if you know where is it and you open it, you can actually see the space, pretty usable. And on top of that, each of the units already comes with a household shelter. So you can actually really make full use of this additional storage space. Okay, private lift. Only for the prestige, all units will have a private lift. So you can see that even from the exit of private lift, your own foyer, there's also extra cabinets on top, you know, on top and the bottom. Then that's where you can also put some of your keys, you know, your coins here. I don't know. All right. Okay. Additional feature, ducted aircon for the prestige, which is only for the living, dining, as well as the master. All right, and there will be one provision of ceiling fan for each of the units itself. So it could be either positioned in the living, in the dining, or in the master room, or in the common room. Developers will be the one that will determine it, because each of the bedroom type, each of the type is different. So the fan may not be fitted in the living room for all the units. Okay, but if this is a key concern, do let us know. We will be able to check it for you. Okay, so this is actually the smart system within the unit. You can actually do a smart aircon control as well as digital set, IP camera, doorbell. So most of you should already know that. Now, this is the interesting part, unit layout. Okay, we are not allowed to release any of the floor plans yet because it has not been approved. All right, so I will show you what some of the draft floor plans. Okay, so the signature collection, the idea behind creating a signature collection, right, is actually the spacious living and dining and the bedrooms and the household shelter. Okay, so all the bedrooms are actually able to fit a king size bed and two side table. Type D onwards, type D onward, which is the 4 bedroom onwards, you will be able to fit a king size and a dresser table. All right, all master bedrooms can fit a king plus 2 bedside table. Type D onwards, you can fit a king size bed and a dresser table. Okay, so the first floor will come with a higher ceiling as well as the penthouses. All right, so the balcony space, like what the architect mentioned, they actually plan for the balcony space to only take up 0.17%, which most of the units, the balcony space actually adds up to about 7% to the entire unit. All right, so the top floor, which is the the penthouse, which actually comes with an attic floor, where the buyers can actually extend the space for their furniture deck in the future. Okay, so this is my floor. So this is one of my show flats layout, which is a 2+30. So this is a dumbbell. So people call this a butterfly layout or actually a dumbbell layout. Okay, so there will be no walkway. So it's a compact layout, no corridor. So you can see that this is a bedroom too, comes with a study area. This is where my bath is. There will be a household shelter in the unit, though the kitchen. There's a possibility for you to enclose it if you want to in the future. All right, and then the master bedroom actually already comes with a master bath. So if you have not heard me, this development is not a PPVC development, which means some of the walls can actually be hacked and converted into a bigger room. So what the architect told us is, this layout itself, if you want to take down this wall, keep the wardrobe, take down this wall, block this up, all right, and still have the door here to the bedroom, you can actually combine this bedroom too and the study together if you want to at your own cost. Developer is not going to do it for you. Okay, but having said that, although this is not a PVC structure, not all walls can hack. Right, not all walls can hack. So if you have a specific area, if a buyer really have a specific thing to really want to check whether, then you can come and approach any of the leadership team. We will try our best to check it for you. All right, but no promise. No promise. We will sell the units or at its existing layout. Okay, so there will also be a fan provision in each of the units to enhance the natural ventilation. Now, the other bedroom type of the show flat we have is actually a 3-bedroom type C5, which is a 1087. Which is a 1087. So again, there will be a fan. Okay, so I mentioned there will be a corner glass for natural lighting. So you can see that this is actually a longer kitchen space. Okay, so for the 3-bedrooms and above, or any of the units that actually come with a WC, there will be an extra slide door provided within the household shelter besides the main door for the household shelter. So I repeat again, any of the layouts with a WC, the household shelter will have an additional slide door here. Okay, so it also acts as a privacy for the helper when they are resting in the unit itself. All right, and it is not a total door, so it's like a PV door or something like that. Okay, so the toilets over here will also be the toilets and the WC for this layout. They are all naturally ventilated. And what I personally like about this layout also is the extra window in the master bedroom, because you will have windows on this side and this side. It actually enhance air circulation within the unit. So this is my type C5. Okay, so the next layout will actually be my prestige. So like I mentioned, each block will only have 2 units and each comes with a private lift. Okay, so again, the living, dining, and the bedrooms and the household shelter are actually very spacious. Okay, you have a very wide frontage, which is about 6 meters. Okay, so later I'll show you all the floor plan. So there'll be ducted aircon for the living and dining, dry kitchen, as well as the master bath. So all bedrooms have ensuite toilet. So there'll be a high ceiling for penthouses for the living and the dining. Okay, so there'll be a powder room provision, dry kitchen, as well as a high ceiling. Okay, so this is how the layout will look like. So what I personally like, again, the living hall, you get a 6 meters frontage. Okay, architect did mention that 6 meters is as good as a terrace house. Is as good as a terrace house. Okay, 6 meters, and yet this 6 meters frontage doesn't include the dining. There's a separate dining space within the unit. Okay, so most of the unit, if you have seen that with such a landscape kind of like a layout, you will have the living room here, and then you also have the dining space here. But over here, I think it's good because the living and dining, they're kind of like separated. Okay, so balcony is also aligned with the living, so you can act as a double up as extra space to host your guests. Okay, so junior master comes with a junior master bath as well. So even for the master bedroom, also comes with a very good wall-to-wall 3.4 meters. So ducted aircon, like I mentioned, the master, living, and the dining comes with ducted aircon. So as you can see, it's a very nice walk-in wardrobe, and this is the 5 fittings master bedroom. You get 2 sinks, you get a WC here, a standing shower, as well as a bathtub within here. Okay, so you have a Jack and Jill bedroom, Jack and Jill toilet for the other 2 bedrooms here, Jack and Jill. Okay, so this will be actually the powder room itself, and then this will be additional storage. So remember the part that I mentioned, the door can swing 180 degrees. Yeah, so this is actually the additional storage space here. Okay, so the kitchen, you will have a dry kitchen. So you have an integrated fridge here, the wine and the combi oven is here. you will have a standalone fridge here, all right, and you also have a wet kitchen, and then you also have a yard, and then you have a window here. So like I said, the Prestige will all comes with a private lift and your private lift lobby. Okay, so this is the extra ones. Like I said, these are all drafts. These are all drafts. It has not been approved yet. So it's just for your awareness only. So one of the bedroom, one of the layout actually for the smallest layout for TERRA is actually the 2-bedroom 624 square feet. All right. So again, this will be a left and right, means it's like a dumbbell layout. So there will be no walkway for this. So you have to see that the master bath, and then there's the bathroom too. All right, so the kitchen is once you enter from the door here, the kitchen will all be on the right hand side. So this will be a induction stove, and even a 2-bedroom 624 square feet will come with a household shelter, and then you're living and a dining here. A point to note here for this layout is if this is approved, there will be no balcony here for this unit. All right, and it's only 2 stacks, stack 17 and stack 24. Okay, so another layout which is the type B2. Which is the 678 square feet. So this one comes with a balcony, but there's not much of a difference to the entire layout like the 624. So we have not seen the Annex A itself, so we can't really confirm. But if you were to just compare side by side, we would think that the key difference is only the balcony. All right, the key difference is balcony. But I said this is only a draft. It's not approved yet. Okay, so just for your own reference. Okay. Now, so for 3-bedroom, there will be more types. Oh, sorry. So there will be one more that is supposed to have a penthouse. So for the penthouses, it will be slightly the size will be slightly bigger, but the area is just that you will have a higher living as well as the dining. No changes to the rest of the layout for the 2-bedroom penthouses. Okay, 3-bedroom, one of the layouts is actually the type C one, which is a 904 square, which is my smallest 904 square feet. There will be 2 types, type C1 and type C2, both are 904 square feet. But in terms of the layout itself, not much of a difference between these two. So one key thing to note, if you can see, this is also like a heavyweight dumbbell. I don't know what this is for. Okay, but basically you have one room on the right hand side, and then on the left you will have 2 rooms. Or you have 2 rooms. You have a master room and have a bath, and then this will be the bathroom. Okay, and then this is where the kitchen is. So if you can see the kitchen, you also have a glass corner. All right, you also have a glass corner over here. Okay, so this is the type. C1 for the 3-bedroom, and for this type, right, the stove is actually the induction stove. Anything that is straight line is all the induction. The one that is bubble one will be the stove. This is what the leadership told me. Okay, so this is one. So I will not show you type C2. Type C2, the only difference is the household shelter is not here, it will be shifted here. But the rest of the things exactly the same. Okay, but like I said, these are only draft. They have not been approved yet. So this is type C3. Okay, so this is type C3. So type C3 will go back to the more typical kind of like a more typical kind of like layout. So as you enter from the door here, so there will be a DB box here. So your kitchen, the door, kitchen door will all be glass sliding door. It will not be the wooden sliding door. It will be a glass sliding door here. Okay, so again, there will be a corner glass where all natural light come in. So living and dining, they are separated. They are not joined, so they are separated. They have a balcony space. So the master room and the 2 of the other bedrooms have all exactly the same facing as the balcony. So master bath comes with an attached bathroom, and then the this bedroom comes with another. There will be another bathroom too here, and then there will be a household shelter that is coming that you can gain access from the kitchen. So this is the type C3, which is the 969 square feet. So for the 969 square feet onwards, you will go back to the typical layout. Type C1 and type C2 will be the smaller one, which is 904 square feet. Now, if you actually want to have an additional WC, then you will have to look at type C4, which is the 1076 square feet onwards. Okay, like I said, so this layout itself, not much of a difference from the earlier, which is the 969. Okay, but there will be additional WC here, and also you can see that the foyer, there's also additional foyer over here. Okay, so now from type C4, I will actually jump. So there will be C5, C6 as well. I think there's also a C5 and C6. Now, C4, C5, C6, there is only minimum changes to this size, and the area of difference is only at the foyer. So you have a foyer here, then the other one is a foyer here, slightly bigger foyer. But in terms of this interior, it should all be the same. But again, like I said, we will wait for the approved layout. But if you can hear me, this should be more or less the difference between the type C4, C5 as well as C6. Okay, so this is one. So I'll just show you. We got several penthouses, the 3-bedroom penthouse, but I'll just show 1 or 2 examples. So this is the top floor. So for the 3-bedroom penthouses, the master room will be on top. You also have a master bath. So one of the bedroom will be on the 2nd level. Okay, so for the first level, there will be two bedrooms, the living and dining here. All right, and then you also, of course, penthouses, you will have a higher volume, which is the living and dining. Okay, so this is the C7. So C8 itself, you also can see that this is also a 3-bedroom penthouse. So you can see that the master bedroom and the master bath is here. Okay, why I brought this out from the other C7 is because you can see that this C7 layout, in terms of the design of the level 1, all right, the design of the level 1 versus C8, if you can see the design of level 1 itself, this bedroom. So it's not, so the level 1 is no longer a very squarish layout. You have one bedroom that will be pushed outwards. Okay, so the C9 penthouse will also be something like that. But not much of a difference if you were to ask me. Okay, so I'll come straight into the 4-bedroom penthouse. Okay, why is this a 4-bedroom penthouse? Wait. Did I show the 1302 square feet? Oh, okay. Never mind. I will come to that later. So I'll show you the 4-bedroom penthouse first for the signature collection. Just give me a while later. I'll just show you where is it. Okay, so this is the 4-bedroom penthouse, which is the 1830 square feet. So over for this layout, right, you actually have the master bath. All right, you have the master bath and the walk-in wardrobe on the second level, and sorry, master bedroom as well. You also have the junior master on level 2. All right, for the 4-bedroom penthouse, 2 of the bedrooms, the master bedroom and the junior master will be on level 2. So on level 1, all right, on level 1, you will have 2 bedrooms below, and you also have an additional study area here. So the rest of it, I think it's pretty similar to other layouts. So I shall not dwell too deep into that. Okay, so this is another 5-bedroom penthouse, which is the 2120 square feet. This is not the Prestige collection. This is the signature collection, because the Prestige 5-bedroom is 3035 square feet, which I don't even have the draft. I don't have the draft floor plan as well. Okay, so this is the one that, so this is the part that's actually on level 2. All right, on level 2. So you can see that it's a master bath, and you can see that within the toilet itself, there'll be 2 sinks. There will be a bathtub as well as standing shower as well as WC. So for the master, so for the 5-bedroom penthouse, it looks very much like the Prestige provision, but it's just that there's no private lift. Okay, so one of the bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, will also have a attached, will also have a bathroom here. So there'll be 2 bedrooms on top, and then there will be 3 bedrooms. So junior master will be on level 1, another bedroom, and then this is the entire floor plan itself. Okay, so okay, I have it here. So sorry, it's just the orange positioning of it. So this is the 4-bedroom, 1302 square feet of my signature, which is the typical 4-bedroom, and is not the Prestige 1800 plus. Okay, so we can see again from the entrance of the foyer. So this is the kitchen area. Okay, you can see this is the kitchen area. Okay, so the 4-bedroom actually comes with a dry kitchen now. Okay, it comes with a dry kitchen. So you have a fridge on the outside. Okay, so you will have the household shelter, WC, and also you have the kitchen here. So living and dining again is separated. Okay, we have not we have the measurements. We will release it soon. All right. So I think the ICs like Candy, Ingwen, and Rachel, I think they did it. So we will have it very soon. All right. So we will have another 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom over here with a Jack and Jill bath. 4-bedroom, then there will be a bath here, and then there will be a master bath here. Master bedroom as well as the master bath here. So this is the 4-bedroom. So I repeat just in case. So sorry if I nag a little bit. 4-bedroom signature collection. 4-bedroom is 1302 square feet. We also have something slightly bigger, which is the 1313 square feet, and another floor plan, another square feet. I can't remember. The key thing again, difference is only the foyer. The difference is only the foyer. A bigger foyer. It's not, interior should be the same. All right, I say again, interior should be the same. Okay, so this is the typical layout of a 4-bedroom.